It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad.
I think, what's that thing called when they have like a meter on like happiness that they can rate? And I think like Finland, they're the happiest, one of like the happiest nations.
Why is Finland one of the happiest nations? What is
they
it
have
about
like free college or something like that, and like they reinvest back into the students or something like that.
They do. They have yes. If I'm to believe both sides of the argument, they have a very high tax. You're taxed like something 50%, 60%.
Holy shit!
But
in return, here's the thing where it like makes it okay.
Into the economy, to the community.
Everyone goes to college for free. Medicare is free.
Okay,
right.
So it's
the streets. There's no potholes in the streets. The freeways work. The women are beautiful. The men,
the women are beautiful because taxes are high. It goes to their plastic surgery.
So they just get better from the money. It's like a Mario mushroom.
Money makes girls prettier. Money makes girls prettier and men's dick bigger.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's break that down.
Money makes ugly guys handsome.
Makes their dick bigger.
Oh,
she smiled because she was like, facts.
Look, I've worked in restaurants where I've seen some of the butt ugliest men with just dime pieces. Just absolute
big facts.
Pure, gorgeous women.
And how are you able to differentiate whether these ugly men have fat wallets or just great personalities?
The titanium American Express card that they throw down.
Flops out when you pay for it. The black card. You're like, oh, yeah, I
sorry, that's my cocaine on there. Let me wipe that off.
Wipe that off. High caliber drugs.
This guy's really rich.
Like,
Which is why I'm so happy to have grown up fat, because now I have a personality. I kind of work.
You had to work on it, right? And so now that you get personality and you're handsome, you're like, oh, it's a double. It's a double
How
whammy.
were you growing up? Or did you have like good game? Were you good at spitting it?
No, it, negative, bro. I was mad skinny. I looked like a Tootsie Roll Pop. I was just hella small with a big head, and I had no game. So it was like every guy in the world. You had to just talk to girls and get rejected until you figured out what worked for you. And you're like, all right, trial by fire. And
when you meet people now, though, and you try to tell them that there was an awkward Sharmaarke time, do they believe it?
No, because they just see this and they're just like, oh, but no way. I was like, little do you know, I have photos in the vault at home where I'm just like, you throw that into the pits of Hades. We're not showing that to nobody.
Dude, it is so hard to believe that you were not smooth at one point in life.
You gotta keep this in mind too. In that same argument, I only know this version of you. So whenever you tell me all these other versions, I'm like, bullshit.
This is not far off from base Christian, from fat Christian. This is not too far
negative.
off. Other than
I've seen like some photos. I was like, bullshit. No way.
Physically, yes, but my personality has always been kind of. I've always been kind of a little off.
Your core has always been the same, but
a little quirky.
But Fat Christian was a different person,
right?
Yes.
And I've always said that
because you can imagine like self confidence, this and the third, boom, 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 boom. All that would add to the pot where you're kind of like now
taking
probably
the words out of my mouth.
Way different than how you would be if you felt confident.
You're right. Facts. I have confidence now.
You have a whole different because you're like, bro, I look good. This haircut is looking on point right now, man. This, the beard, you see me.
And what's worse is he's right. He knows what he's saying.
Yeah, he knows what he's saying. He says what his chest.
Any compliment from Sharmaarke, I will take to the heart.
I saw you, bro. I was like, ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
You guys are,
it's a bromance.
You get compliments from him the way you give compliments to people.
Yes.
Yeah, downstairs we had a moment where Sharmaarke said something to me, and then you jumped in on the compliment train, and I just had to like step back and let you guys kind of do your thing.
You love bombs. You love bomb real well.
I'm an emotional person. I care about people, and this is like when I have a connection with people, I'm like, I want you to feel appreciated because I appreciate people. And if I don't appreciate you, I'll just be really. It's a whole different energy, whole different energy. And when I care about people, I'm like, I don't want there ever to be a moment where you feel like I don't care about you. You know what I'm saying?
I've never felt like you never cared about me.
Big facts, because I do care about you.
But I've seen you not care about something because we did have a 9-to-5 job together.
It's a big difference.
And you've definitely been in this mode where you're just kind of like, I don't give a fuck.
Clock out.
I respect it.
Right.
Because we were having this conversation downstairs about having how our energy and the time we have is very important.
Very important.
It's finite. What do we do on our free time to help ourselves?
Yeah.
So like, what does you live in LA? Let's start off by introducing our special guest.
The basics, Christian.
The return of the 8-foot monster in the motherfucking room. The actor that has taken over Hollywood. The guy whose dick is bigger than your mom's
Your reacher candle, bro.
than your mom's G-Wagon. It's Sharmaarke Purcell
Pew, pew, pew,
up in the
pew.
motherfucking studio. What's up?
I demand when you do this edit, I want Return of the Mac playing. When you say the Return of the Mac.
Isn't that your favorite song of all time?
That's my literal favorite song. I used to play that all the time, bro.
All the time.
Big
It's
facts.
these two songs.
You know the words though.
Don't play with me, bro.
Sing it right now.
I mean,
So you can't put me on the spot. I can't do that now. Whoa,
everyone knows the
whoa.
words when it's playing, but some of those words that Marky says are unrecognizable.
I mean, he has like a weird, like little British twang.
He
bro.
has a
It's like,
good.
hey, man.
There's a couple of
You
like.
lied to me.
Yeah,
I think
that
it's
one
like a little
everyone knows.
twang.
In the middle,
No one knows what he's
You
saying.
knew what it was.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
You're walking down the street.
You can
It
say
could be
anything. And
anything.
People believe you because if you say it with confidence, people are like, I didn't know he said that. But I didn't either. We
At
did not.
karaoke, that's the song to do to really blow the tits off
I
people.
got something for you.
Bonanza.
That was my only song I did for karaoke.
Oh no way!
They invited me.
I
They were
would
just like,
love to see you do that at karaoke.
When I tell you I was on that table owning it, I was like, this is my stage right now, bro.
You were on that table
I was on
owning
that
it?
table, bro.
You were hopping on tables
What kind
doing
of karaoke?
karaoke?
Shirt
you
off
doing?
spinning, bro. Hey man, you asked
Shirt
too many
off
questions.
spinning?
You asked too many questions, bro. I felt like one of those like businessmen coming off from like a Japanese show, and they were just like just the shirt whacking with the tie on their heads. I was out of my mind, but it was just like one of those moments. I was like, fuck it, I'm here. I'm here. We're here. This is what you wanted to do.
It's happening.
Fuck it, it's happening.
All right, listeners
Fully
are hearing
commit.
it first that there was one point in time where Sharmaarke was on
Japanese
tables.
businessman.
He was a
What I heard
Japanese.
was Sharmaarke was a Japanese businessman.
That's the reference to put no
Singing-
context. Just take it for what it is.
He sang "Return to the Mac"
As a
shirtless
Japanese-
on a table
Big facts.
as a Japanese.
As a Japanese businessman, no context
Sharmaarke
needed.
Purcell. That sounds like a Japanese name.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if you say it a certain way,
It's like that movie, The
Definitely could
Pest. Do you ever see that, the John Leguizamo movie? With
No,
The
why?
Pest?
What is it?
At one point, someone's singing karaoke and they do the theme from Bonanza, which I've seen the show Bonanza. There's no words in the theme song, but for somehow they had words in the karaoke.
in the bottom.
What?
And even he's like, "Oh, I didn't know there were words in the song."
Guess we're doing this.
It's great.
This is the thing
It's
now.
great.
Well,
Check it
that's-
out, guys. The Pest.
That's like you singing
Stinky
tequila, right?
Tequila
At
is my favorite.
karaoke.
It's my go-to karaoke
Are you familiar
song.
with that song?
No. What is that?
It's
Wait, that's
all.
a song? I
Na-na-na-na-na-na.
didn't mean it was a song. There's words to that?
Well, there's
There's one word.
3 words. Tequila, and then they do the song again. Then they say tequila.
literally
and then
just
they
thought
do
it
the
was the
song.
beat
Then
the
they say
whole time.
tequila.
I guess they just don't play that part. They just play the beat.
Yeah, because it shouldn't exist in karaoke. If you're doing that at karaoke, get the fuck
Hey,
on.
man, get out of jail free card. I'm
Have
like,
had people
you
get
didn't set
mad.
these standards. You asked me to sing, but by God, I'll sing.
They didn't have islands in the stream, so I'm doing tequila.
Halo.
I would.
Halo.
Get so Halo by Beyonce.
Halo. No, actually, the theme from the game.
Everyone just stands up.
Yo, did you play Halo as growing up as a kid?
Everyone played Halo.
You look like someone that
I was
talks
a Halo
mad
too.
shit on Xbox.
No, I don't. But here's what I do.
a great shot.
I'm a very big like petty person. I used to get a lot of those kids who were like from like I don't know some little 7-year-old kid from like Wisconsin was like yeah, and I was like oh man, okay, and I would just ruin his day, just play him every day and just silently destroy him, bro. Destroy his life.
Cargo pants 529. You're my bitch now.
For the next couple of hours while you're on, bro, I'm waxing that ass. No lube, bro. Tearing them cheeks
Waxing ass?
up.
I've
Waxing
never
it, bro.
heard of that as like a
You're
shit
welcome.
talk.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
bro.
no.
Waxing
Waxing
cheeks.
ass?
You get
Polishing
waxed,
them
bro.
up so that
Who loses in that transaction?
hey, bro.
The waxy.
The waxy.
What?
The waxy, bro.
My ass needs a wax, but I mean,
does.
like in a literal sense.
Amen.
But
Amen.
I mean, in a video game, I
Weird
wouldn't know what to
flex.
make of that.
Relax, smooth cheeks.
What
bro.
was your gamer tag? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was like the blue Azul or Azul Hero. I thought I was like I was really into anime. I was like Azul
Azul?
Hero, yeah. I don't know what the fuck it was.
Oh, well, actually, no. Never mind. Different word completely in my head. Sorry.
What?
I was gonna try and relate to that, but I had a different word though.
I mean, your gamer tag, his gamer tag, he's kept. So apparently on Xbox, you can randomly generate a gamer tag.
That's fire.
And he's kept sometimes.
He was
No,
"Wait a
it's
minute."
fire.
He's like, wait a minute, okay.
No, it's
You tell him. You tell him.
If you're a fan of chaos, you're like, let it happen.
And I've kept the same gamer tag through PlayStation and,
What's your
and all
gamer
the
tag, bro?
oversized rope.
Oh, that's perfect.
What does that mean?
Nothing. It's nonsense.
Oversized
Yet
rope?
It's vaguely.
It's
Phallic?
suggestive.
All I play is NBA 2K now. That's the only game I play, and I accidentally and I just play like the career mode because I like to play basketball.
Yeah.
And I don't like getting yelled at by kids who are better than me. But I accidentally found myself on a live 5-on-5 game.
Yeah.
And I ended up on a team with 4 guys who are friends.
Yeah.
And somehow I got paired up with them. And these guys are all level 95, 97, 98, overall, 99, all the way
Dang
through.
near perfect across here.
And I'm level 1. I have like a bronze like name tag.
Oversized robe.
Just recreated this character, so like my character's like overall 78. But I'm playing with these guys, and they're doing their thing. And at one point, they had to like one guy was trying to get a double, and he's like, he passed the ball to me. He's like, I need you to shoot. Oversized robe. And I never wear my headphone. I never wear the mic, and I couldn't stop laughing because they just knew some random guy was in there. They never read it, but just to be like, dude, I need
oversized robe.
Oversized robe.
While we're on the topic, you have to tell them about your experiences on Grand Theft Auto. So, have you played Grand Theft Auto Online?
No, but I see how chaotic it is, bro.
So, Grand Theft Auto Online, a few years ago, they had implemented this new piece of technology where
it was proximity chat.
Which
is fairly common now in these sandbox games.
Okay.
Meaning whoever is around you in this open world online multiplayer thing, they could hear you within a certain radius.
So if I'm in the building with you, I can hear you talking.
So there is this
there was a feature,
that's the word,
in the Xbox 360 version of Grand Theft Auto Live, where if you
he's trying to keep it together,
talked into your mic to the strippers,
right,
they would like you more.
There's a bar that says how much they like you.
So you're spitting game, bro. You're spitting game.
No, I'm not. I'm doing the basic to get the meter up of, oh, you like that? You want that, baby? You really like this? You want my money?
That is mad out of pocket, dog.
And then I hear a response from someone going, oh, we got a freaky motherfucker in here. I turned off the Xbox.
I was gonna say immediately.
Turned off the Xbox, turned off the TV, and went outside.
Immediately. Control Alt Delete. We're shutting everything down, bro.
You're a dick for bringing it back.
Do you know
I haven't thought about that in.
What's funny about this is that you don't have to say dirty words for that meter to go up. You could just. It works off of noise.
Yeah.
It's just mic activated is all it is.
He was in it. He was in character, bro.
Yes.
He was committed. He was in that car, windows rolled up. He was like, yeah, girl. You know what time it is. He was a
I feel like you could bring that meter up real fast.
Big facts, bro. You're a monster, bro.
I'll tell you right now. Cheetah is still on my speed dial on my Grand Theft Auto phone.
It's crazy. Yeah, you accrue these digital
recruits,
stripper.
Well, and then
phone numbers.
At one point, I got so deep into Grand Theft Auto, I owned any property you could have. I had 1 million cars, and Christian would play with me, and we wouldn't even do Grand Theft Auto stuff. We would just we would go to the bar and play darts, and drink beer,
live a regular virtual life.
Yeah.
But there would be times where I'd be like, you want to go meet a stripper? And I would call the stripper in Grand Theft Auto. We'd go and pick her up from behind the strip club.
Yeah. You could bring her back to your place, and
then she just walked around. She just walked around the house. And so here I am in this house with Christian in this virtual world with this virtual stripper, and we're taking virtual bong loads, and it's just like, what world? What is this?
What is happening right now?
What are we doing?
What is happening?
What are we doing?
Some kids like, yeah, nice. I'm crushing it.
I mean, I'll be honest. At one point, I did have that realization and be like, what the fuck are we doing?
To preface, at the time, we were both employed. And we had actual lives.
Yeah, and we were also living apart. This was when I was in Irvine.
Yeah.
So this was like the bonding.
We didn't get to hang out.
Fair.
We
so
didn't
this was
get
the
to go to
virtual
bars
hangout.
together.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm not actually that cool.
That was fun.
You seem pretty solid though, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a fishing. Cut that trout.
Yeah, I saw it, man. I ran into it.
I just gotta say, I'm digging the energy in this room right now.
This is good energy.
You came through with some of the most positive energy that I have felt in this entire year of 2023.
Oh, thanks, bro.
And I felt some positive energy in my life.
Yeah. He had a baby this year.
I did not. You're looking at me with such.
Where is it in the basement? I was like, we were in the whole house.
It's my back pocket. Filipino babies are smaller.
Big facts, bro.
They're basically, that's where Tamagotchis come from.
Oh, I see. You shaking.
Tamagotchis come from Japan.
I was going to say brain damage now. Is she good? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're supposed to shake Filipino babies. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, bro.
That's how you get all the good stuff mixed together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I don't want to make any jokes.
No, you can't.
We're here.
I don't feel
We're
comfortable.
Here.
We're here. I was like, I feel wildly uncomfortable with those jokes.
Now's the time to do it because we haven't edited the show yet.
I give you permission, yeah.
Oh, yeah, bro. That doesn't make it any better, bro.
Do you give us permission to make some other jokes?
No.
So it doesn't work.
Just have to ask. I
was like, how deep does the rabbit hole go?
I just want to know what the rules are.
I have a quick question. So shout
No,
out
I'm
to
not gay.
our shout out to our mutual friend Danby Peralta, who we both worked with. But he told me that there was one time you guys were working together, and you said, Danby, I know you got it, but what are some of your best black jokes that you got?
Oh, yo, he was prepared.
And it's almost upsetting how prepared
Did he
is.
rub his hands together and smile?
I thought I'd never you ask.
It was almost like that Hey Arthur meme when you see the knuckles clench. He was just like, yeah, I got this shit. I'm ready for this shit. I've been waiting all fucking year for this shit. Because I felt like I was like, everyone's going to have a couple of solid jokes on people.
Yeah.
Robert E. Lee walks into a bar. You're like, no.
No. I want the good stuff. And he blows it off. I've been waiting for you to ask. He cracks it open. It's like,
Grandpa,
you see the skull and
Grandpa,
bones comes out.
I
It's
have one here.
wild.
He's asking me right now, Grandpa. Tell me that joke again.
Big facts. And it's just like, because everyone has a couple of jokes. Like, I'm just like, I have like Filipino jokes, Mexican jokes, black jokes. I'm like, because you're around people and you're like, I got some stuff in my
He might
pocket.
have
If
one
I
in
ever
his
want to just
pocket.
go off, I'm like, I got some funny shit in my
Can I hear
pocket.
some of your Filipino
You're not
jokes?
catching me, bro.
What? You think I'm going to clip it and cancel you?
I'm kind of famous, not even playing, bro.
I will say some
not
of the-
even doing this, bro.
Some of the best racial jokes are interchangeable. You can almost change it for any race.
facts.
But the best ones
Yeah.
are very specific.
Because the more specific, the funnier it is. Because you're like, oh, you did research. God damn.
You're right. I've never been said goodbye
the
to by an
goal-
Irish man.
Is the goal for like if
I
you're
appreciate that.
is it to like make the person that is the butt of that racial joke? If you could get them to be like, you're right, that means that the joke was good, right?
Because it's like, jokes are funny because there's truth there.
That was Don Rickles' thing.
Right.
Right? If he would jab you, anybody, and you would be like,
Yeah. Yeah, because you're like, I got to laugh at it because you're like, that's real. You're like, fuck, yeah, you got me. And that's the funny thing about it because you're like, you can relate to it. You know what I'm saying?
when it's not relatable.
When it's
the
not
problem.
relatable, you're just like, come on, bro. Now you're just fishing and just trying to be a dick just to be a dick, right? Like certain black jokes, I'm like, damn, that shit's kind of solid. I was like, damn, I can't laugh because I'm like, but damn, that's kind of funny.
Who told him about the baby powder and no socks?
We're talking about the Vaseline when you about to get ready to fight.
Wait, what? The Vaseline when you're
A
gonna
boxing coach told him that?
I said too much. It's like, so it's just like those kind of jokes. The more specific, it's just like, you can get mad. Like,
because
that's funny.
there's facts
truth
behind
there.
it.
There's truth there. Like that's why people say stereotypes. I'm like, stereotypes are bad when they're used out of context. Like when you use them in a negative format. But there are certain features and certain characteristics and qualities that all of us have intrinsically. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you notice it, like, that's funny.
Yeah, you're on the freeway, cars are backed up, you finally get to the wreck, you look over and you see it's a red car.
Thank you for the save.
Thank you. Yeah, good.
I was like, I had a feeling where this was going to go. My mom hit me with the hard left on the freeway. Psych.
Do you think you could ever do stand up? I feel like you have the charisma to just
Could
kind
you
of
play a character doing stand up?
I could.
Like if someone gave
Interesting.
I think you could.
It's all ego, bro. I'm terrified. That's all it really is.
If someone gave you like a script, like here, you're gonna go up and you're gonna say these things. I bet your delivery would be on point.
Yeah.
You would have the inflection, and you could naturally find the timing.
I'm good. I know how to sell it. It's just I don't think I'm naturally funny.
Yeah.
I think I'm like
No, I didn't mean.
he didn't even lie about it. He was just like,
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
bro,
wait.
cut
You
that shit
suck,
out.
bro. Yeah, you're
Trash.
dry as fuck.
play that back, but isolate my reaction
I saw it, right?
and compare it to his reaction.
I don't think I'm naturally funny. Yeah. I think I'm like, no, I didn't mean. I don't think I'm naturally funny. Yeah. I think I'm like, no, I didn't mean.
And he was like, yeah,
I
motherfucker, you're
gasped.
trash. No, because here's the thing. I'm funny in situations. Like certain situations,
Like you're
I
a
can,
sitcom character.
right? Like I can compound on that, or I might have like funny ideas, but I don't I don't have like whole bits in my mind where I'm like I can set up ha 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 ha's.
You're Ray
Yeah.
Barone, not Ray Romano.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone gets that.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah. So it's just like I can say funny shit because it can be clever, but I'm not clever enough to have an entire flowing consciousness of like ABC. There's a storyline of like punchline, this, boom. I'm like, well, that is a skill that I do not have.
Then you get to the end, you reference the first joke,
Right?
You did, and
Like
it's
there's a story to this. Like when you see some of these good comedians and like there's a story and you're like, oh shit, he referred back to that one thing that was hella funny. I'm like,
Call back, yeah.
holy fuck. And these motherfuckers sit for like hours writing this shit. I'm like, fuck no. Just because I say a funny joke and people laugh, I'm like, I'm good. No, the fuck you're not. Sit down, sir.
I hate when people think that they can do stand
Because you said a couple of funny jokes. Stop
because
it.
you're the funny guy at the office.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
they
yeah. The you're funny. You should do stand up is not a correlation.
That is not a correlation.
No,
But to the layman, it is.
Right.
Because they don't understand it.
That's like
And-
telling a room full of kids, "Oh, you're the fastest kid here." And then you go out against adults. You're like, "Shut up, sit down."
Then Sharmaarke
Your legs
lines
are
up
so
next to him on
short.
the track field.
Stubby ass legs. I'm gonna smoke this little asshole. Ruin his whole life.
First of all, if you're raising children,
Yo, listen, hey, the motherfuckers gotta learn someday. I'm
gotta
gonna ruin
win
your life
eventually.
right now, bro. You gonna learn.
wait, how come kids always want to be the fastest motherfuckers in the fucking room?
Because, bro, like back then, like
It's irrefutable.
the schoolyard was like the place to establish dominance.
It's
And
irrefutable. I beat you in the
irrefutable.
race.
Big facts.
But no one
Physicality.
challenged me to. Oh, I was fat.
I was gonna say, but I was gonna give you the face on it. Put this camera on me. I was gonna be like,
You know what, Christian? I would have raced you.
You would have?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
you would
have.
have said it in a dickish way. You would have been like, I bet I'm faster than you.
No, I would have said it like this. Christian, you want to race?
Just hurts.
Because he is an obnoxious person
I
and
believe
was.
it, bro. I feel like
Hang on.
you've only like grown in the obnoxious energy and let it sit. You're like, I own it now. This is
I
mine.
knew I was the bully's friend in like the 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I just accepted the character.
Yeah, you seem like the kid that very much like Nelson in The Simpsons who would just laugh like, ha ha,
Yeah.
from a distance.
Nelson is the bully.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Then, okay, if
Do you
you
remember Harvey from Boy Meets World?
No.
He was the bully with the leather jacket, and then he had like 2 henchmen.
One of the henchmen being Ethan Suplee.
And the other one being the short one with the
smaller one.
That's me.
Oh, you're the smaller one.
That's me.
Okay, were you,
And you're Ethan Duplessis.
Ethan, I guess I could be. No, because I'm a nice guy. What kind of
So-
person were you growing up?
I was nice.
You were nice?
Yeah, I used to
So
get beat
was
up all the time.
I.
Were you?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about it. What kind of describe your traits growing up and
I was a softie. I was an absolute weenie. I used to get beat up all the time.
weenie. If you
Yeah.
say if weenie is in your vocabulary,
Big
you're
facts.
for
You feel me?
sure
I was like,
softy,
that says
man.
enough. I was a weenie. I was an absolute soft. Even now, like I cry all the time with my girlfriend, and
I
she was
love
like,
it.
"You all right?" I was like, "We'll be." Don't even hide it anymore, bro. I'll be watching movies.
right, well,
I'm like,
finish your
"Hey, this
dinner.
is
Let's
so
get
sad." Big facts. I don't even try to hide it. I'm like, I'm an emotional person. That's what I am. And I used to always get made fun of. People always used to mess with me, beat me up, and I was like, all right.
But being emotionally transparent helps you navigate the world better.
As
I
an
feel.
adult.
As an adult.
Being emotionally aware
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
before 25
Right?
Yes.
is almost a detriment.
But growing up as males in society, I mean, I don't know how your guys' parents were, but like my dad is very hardened and was, you know, I still did cry a lot, but especially you being an actor, would you say that your emotional transparency and emotional awareness helped you with
Okay, now,
that?
but here's an interesting thing. When I was a kid, my emotions didn't transfer that well. It was more so like internalized. I would keep it with myself. I wasn't necessarily going around expressing it to that extent, unless it was like people I was really comfortable with.
Yeah.
And because I was battling this like this dual thing of like I felt like guys needed to act a certain way.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do that.
Yeah.
Because not having a dad, I felt like I needed to act a certain way to be a guy because I didn't know what a guy was. So I was trying to figure out this idea of what a guy was and seeing people act a certain way. And I was like, but that's not how I feel. But I feel like I needed to be that, specifically since, you know, sometimes my mom would say something like, you're the man of the house. And I would take that to heart.
Man.
Right. But it's not a shade to my mom. I was like, it put like this weird weight on my shoulders and in my head where I was like, all right, I gotta, like, do they posture a certain way? You know, like what is
Wow,
that?
to
Right?
to that level.
To that level. And it got to a point where like I had moments where I didn't know how to be me. I didn't know who I was. Like there's even moments where I was talking to I have a therapist, crazy. Where I was talking to my therapist.
That's not crazy. A lot of people have therapists.
Right, but it's just like, it's not something people really talk about. It's always just like one of those things of like, man, talk about your feelings. I'm like, no, you gotta talk about your feelings, bro, before you fuck around and punch somebody in the mouth. You're like, what happened? I was like, you did, buddy. You gotta get that under control. You gotta check that shit.
What
man.
happened?
What happened?
Whoa, buddy.
Why is my nose broken?
You're right. It's just like I for the longest time I didn't even know how to like navigate around guys because I didn't know how to be a guy.
I connect with that.
You know
a
what I'm
lot.
saying?
I mean, I connect in the sense I've always had close guy friends, but not necessarily a big friend group of guys until high school.
Right.
But prior to that, I've always had like one guy best friend, but I've always gotten along better with women
Girls.
because you have siblings, right?
I have 4 sisters. I have
4
2
sisters.
half sisters and 2 of my like biological directly related to me sisters.
And that kind of affects who you surround yourself with, who you're comfortable surrounding
Exactly.
yourself with.
I'm surrounded. I'm in a house full of women. I have my two older sisters, my two other sisters that I met later in my life. I have my mom, and so I'm having this POV that's raising me, that's teaching me certain aspects, and I don't have the other perspective that's giving me another POV. So I'm only getting one POV. And granted, I appreciate it because it helped me understand women and be way more sensitive.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I could have been if I would have just been with a dad. Who knows? Maybe it would have been positive, maybe it would have been negative. But I definitely felt like I felt weird in certain spaces when I was like hanging out with dudes. I was like, damn, I feel like, why are you so masculine? Like, cool.
Yeah.
And I know what it was. And I felt uncomfortable because I felt like there was something that I missed because I didn't have a dad, that maybe there was like a male aspect that was missed. But then as I got older, I was just like, a guy is whatever you want it to be. I can, you know, my version of a guy is fine. It doesn't need to be this or that. It's just whatever you are, that's fine.
Especially, exactly. Now. Because gender roles are now more fluid. Whatever.
If you had that realization 40 years ago.
Oh yeah, they would stone me.
I found it interesting that you guys mentioned this because you guys do have a very good, you guys were both raised by women, right? Yeah. To your admission, and just Mark, I think you said so much to the point. And you know, like my dad raised me with a really firm, you know, men are men, and this is what men do, and this is how we handle stuff, and this is how we handle situations. And I found myself even yesterday when I met an older man, like I know how to talk to men. Yeah. I know exactly what to do, how to act, even if I'm not connected or vibing with that guy, or I don't even like him. Like I know how to say and how to act, how to make him like me.
There's like rubrics. There's like a rule book that you could follow to be like, all right, shake a hand firm, look him in the eyes, stand tall.
And also like just yesterday, I was talking to a guy who any other time in any other place, I would have nothing to relate with, would never talk to. And like, and you know me, I would just walk by. If I just saw him, I would just walk by. I'd mind my own business. Right. But I ended up sitting next to this guy for over 3 hours, and we started talking. We got to know each other pretty well. I'm never completely honest with people I meet. You know that. You've seen me interact with strangers.
You hide stuff until you really get to know someone.
And you know, and you've also seen my interaction with strangers who I know it's like a brief interaction. I'll talk and I'll spin a tale, or I'll do whatever. I'll say whatever I do in the moment. And then I'll turn back to Christian, and then I'm back to me. It's like I'm a different person.
You know how to switch those personas.
Switch the mask.
Yeah,
switch the mask.
That's exactly what it is.
Which is why acting was so kind of fluid with you when you were doing it, right? And being a server too.
Well, I was only a good server because I was a vaguely decent actor.
Yeah.
And the only time I ever in my whole life believed that I was a good actor was when we were taking our advanced drama class at DVC.
Okay.
And we did some stupid drama exercise because in acting class it's always like, we're gonna be a goat for an hour, and it's like today we're breathing for 45. It's always bullshit stuff. But we did one exercise where there was two people on stage, and one person has a task, and the other person is going to come into the scene and tell them news that is supposed to disrupt you from the task, but that person cannot stop doing the task.
Holy crap, you guys did that too.
It's
activities, the doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every acting class is the same. Actually, they just call them every
different
teacher.
Things, right.
Every teacher thinks they invented it.
Yeah, and they're like, okay.
Do you remember this exercise that I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was 2011, 2012. My brother had just had his first son. Yeah. We were just kind of like figuring some stuff out, and for whatever reason, in the act, I was writing a letter. I guess I don't even remember. I guess to my brother. And the girl who I was partnered with was going to come in, and I didn't know what the disruptor was, right? That was the whole thing. She figures out her whole thing. I figure out my whole thing. She came and said she was pregnant. And I remember like clocking in to just like the emotions of how it was, what happened with my brother and my mom, what happened with my brother and his girlfriend at the time, now his wife, the baby, how I felt in the moment. And I remember reacting, but then also remembering that the activity has to happen and the whole thing. And the teacher maybe praised or didn't praise, whatever it was, but we left that class and you looked at me and you said, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you can just do that. And I said, and I turned to you and I said, you just pretend like it happened. You believe it to be real. Just think it was a thing, and you just think it. And that was the first time in my life where I realized that I do, if I can say that I have any kind of talent, I do have this ability to turn on and turn off. And, you know, I can use it to good or bad, and I've used it in bad times and good times. But yeah, that was the first thing that I realized. I was like, oh yeah, like, oh shit, not everybody.
Not everyone has that.
And but I can see you. I see in that acting class in particular, I would see flashes of stuff and be like, no, Christian, you do get it.
Flashes,
Like,
but it's hard for me to isolate that and use it as a tool. It's something that happens in a very specific context and situation.
and I think that's the difference between, again, not to try and compliment myself, but a natural talent and a trained talent.
Yeah, I have
You can hone and learn and grow.
Do you connect to this?
Yeah, I'm
Right?
digging
And then
this.
there's something
Don't
you're
even.
born
I
with.
want to just keep going. I'm digging this. Go
No,
ahead,
but
man.
you were born with the talent, right?
no.
Or a talent. People are born with
I
a
had to
thing.
work because I'm listening to what you're saying because I do a lot of research and I watch a lot of these shows of like other actors and stuff like that. So I try to kind of understand what their niche is and see how it applies to me to say maybe okay, does this work for me? Oh no, throw that away. Try something else.
Do you not, being a emotional person, like you
Right.
said, having your emotions out, does that help you when you're acting and you have a long day and then they hand you a script and say you need to cry today? Do you draw back on your emotions? Do you think about the time?
Absolutely, that's one of the things. But one of my issues I had to work through was I'm so literal. I'm very pragmatic in the sense of sometimes I know it's not real. So my issue is I have to now convince myself that it's real.
If you were watching it, you wouldn't believe it.
I tell myself that I'm like, do I believe me? No. So then my biggest issue was coming to terms and learning how to now tap into that and just opening up.
How do you believe yourself? You know, because
Go ahead.
when I'm doing improv and I'm playing myself, I believe myself. I believe that I'm reacting pretty genuinely. Right, because there's no script. But once you give me a script, even if I'm acting as Christian, if Alejandro writes me a script and we are playing ourselves in a fabricated universe that is still this universe, I'm reading the lines off of this script, even if it's in my own words that I would do it, but I still don't believe myself. How do I believe myself?
Because I think the biggest issue that I'm learning is that you have to learn to just stop thinking about it.
Yes.
It's just
keep
reacting, and it's
Acting is reacting.
It's literally reacting because I think you said it too. You said she comes in and you just react to her.
Yeah.
You have to just react because then by reacting, it's a natural impulse as opposed to you now thinking it, and now it's something you're trying to plan or do. It's and that's going to be the difference between you just doing it and you reacting to it.
And you know how you get there? You do it over and over
and over and over and over
Repetition.
again.
And to the point that you get sick of it.
Remember when we first started this podcast, we couldn't stand the sound of our own voices.
And we did it over and over and over and over again. Now we're
Now it's
used
muscle
to
memory.
it.
We don't even.
It's just talking.
You guys fly right into it. I'm just looking at you like,
even hear it.
motherfucking vote. Look at these motherfuckers going at it.
Stop
And
it.
it's like that for everything. Everything's like a sport. You have to practice in the gym until you get to a
have
point where you're
to
like, now your body
practice.
just reacts. Kobe Bryant, same thing. He shot so many shots and now when he pulls up, he knows how to
Wow.
do it.
Wow.
When he pulled up.
Right. Touche.
You have come up with you. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Right.
You have
You've dropped some
dropped
bombs.
so many bombs on
What
us.
time is it? Because in the last
We just getting started playing.
I mean, just in the last couple of hours, there's been at least 3 bombs where it's like,
You are,
a master of words.
you know, in the Bible, they just write all the bombs that Jesus just
The
said.
bars.
Jesus had some bars in the
Bars.
Bible, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do unto thee as they have died, do unto whatever, you know?
I was like, what was that? Sir?
Do unto thee as you wish unto you. But I
Right.
believe Mark was quoting Jesus, so we don't know what
We
Jesus
don't know.
said.
Anyway,
Right, sure.
you dropping. I mean, it must be a mix of you having done music prior, being a lyricist prior to this, and also just keeping that passion, and also your self-talk must be really good.
That's what I was gonna say. This is what I do to myself. I tell myself the things that I want to. I need to hear because I know how I could get. Anyone who does something that they love, there's gonna be a moment when you get self-deprecating because you hold yourself to a certain standard, and you're like, I expected better for myself. And when you really give a shit about something, you're gonna really hold yourself to a standard. Because if I knew like. Fuck about that shit. I'm just like, press that button. I don't give a shit. This shit blows up. Fuck this bioreactors.
You said press that button.
I give 2 fuck. You know what I give a fuck. If you really give a fuck about something, you're like, I don't give a shit what happens. You guys can come in here right now and have all these meetings. I'll be all right, bet. I'm going on my lunch. Bye.
All right, bet.
See you tomorrow. Like, I don't care. But if you give a shit about something, you're
everything.
You guys put everything into this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
You guys don't fuck around with this shit, right? You're not just here like, I might come tomorrow, maybe not. You know, you guys are fucking. Sorry,
I mean, that's kind of me, actually, but that's fine. That's a little too close to home. What happened yesterday, guys? Let's kind of cool it. Let's cool our jets a little bit, guys. I came up with the idea, motherfucker.
Subliminal jab. But it's just like when you give a shit, you're really at it. You really put in the work because you care. And there was something we talked about, like with the thingy. You care. So now it really means something. So you're really gonna work at it. And the more you work at it, the more you're like, okay, I'm good. So now I expect more of myself because I'm better than I was last time. And then when you don't reach that shit, you're like, fuck.
I just read a quote. I cannot tell you word for word. I do not know who said it, but it was something of the effect of true happiness is learning that what you do for work is fun and that work is fulfilling.
Big facts.
Yeah, that's it. Both
if
of
you
those.
do something and you don't love it,
you have that playfulness, that joy. That's when good things happen.
Absolutely. Because and it goes back to the audition I told you guys about. When I didn't give a fuck. The last one, the final
Sharmaarke
take,
power.
the Sharmaarke, when I didn't give a fuck about it, I'm just like, fuck it, we're just playing around. I'm just gonna do me. And I was just having fun with it. I had no idea that I was gonna get it. I was just like, fuck it, let's just
break
do
that
it.
down real quick because listeners have zero context and we won't say what it is just in case this episode
That's why I
comes
said
out
it. That's why I said it the way I
thing.
said it.
But we don't even have to. You're a working actor. You do multiple auditions.
Right.
Some projects
You
can
don't
be
get
5, 6, 7 auditions.
Right.
And then you don't get it.
You don't get it.
Or you do get it.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned downstairs that, at one point you felt kind of like they were just throwing anything at you to just see what you got. And then finally you had that moment of, let me just do me. Let me just be Sharmaarke.
Yeah.
And that's the one that everyone wants. That's what they were looking for.
That's what they were looking for. They were like, I want that genuine person.
Yes.
I want that real human. I want that genuine thing that I can relate to that because that's honest. He's grounded. The acting. You're grounded. And it goes back to what you were talking about earlier when it's just like, you stop thinking about it. You just react. You're just present. You're just being in the moment. And then by just being there, you don't have to overthink like, oh, my pose this way, smile this way. No, just what would you do?
Yeah.
If you were there, what would you do? Boom.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the camera. Just what would you do? My girl and I, we were just talking. I was just boom, boom, boom. We're just talking. You and I, we're just talking. Boom.
Because that's what that is.
It's really what it is.
Because if
It's a
you're really
conversation.
acting is
bro.
not. Yes, you're objectively you are playing a character and you are acting. But what we're looking for in this in this day and age of acting is just watching people.
I want the humanity.
Relatability,
the realism,
which is just you talking. You everything else stripped down, right?
Listen. It goes back to what we talked about downstairs. I said this to him. I said, Christian is far more is millions of times more interesting than any character I can create because that character doesn't have backstory. He's like, wait a minute, pump your brakes. They don't have history, context, trauma, any of this stuff, which makes them juicy or interesting. So literally anything you do or I do is interesting to somebody who has no fucking idea who we are. They're like, oh shit, what the fuck was that about? That guy's funny. Damn, Christian is he's clever. Damn, Sharmaarke's so inspirational because they have no fucking idea what I can say or what you can say. So everything is interesting and brand new. As opposed to when you try to play an idea or do something that you think people care for, now you're stifling what you could be. Because you're giving them a shoddy version of some idea.
We're diluting ourselves.
You're diluting yourself. It's literally like you're going, I could give you 100% me, but I'd rather just be like, water that shit down to like 1%. Here's what I think you might like, because here's the idea. And they're like, we just want to see you. But okay, if this is you, no thank you.
Do you still get nervous for auditions? Like, how do you feel?
I feel like you should still get nervous.
Nope, I walk in there with my dick out and I say, who's first?
Right, dragging the shit across the table. Like, who want to taste this shit? I'm a winner. Like, no, it's crazy.
Who want to taste this shit?
Drag.
I would hire that man.
Aggressive.
I would hire that man.
Hang on, what's dragging? None of mine drag on the table. None of mine can reach the table.
Hey, man,
mine's inside of me.
It's curls up, turtle style.
It's super turtle mode.
That's a uterus, sir.
Second belly
It's a
button.
vagina, sir. What's going on here? But it's just, yeah, man. You still gotta be nervous because if you're not nervous, you don't care.
Yeah.
I feel like if you
Yes,
care,
I've said that so many
you're
times.
nervous.
I've used this example so many times. One of my heroes being a singer is Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett's fucking 98 and has been singing until he was 90. He's still probably singing. But he says that every single time, even with that man's experience and his clout, he still gets nervous every sintle time. Dude. And ever since I heard that, and he said he gets nervous because he cares. If you're not getting nervous, a lot of people... Nerves is synonymous with excitement.
Yeah.
It just depends on like where you kind of...
Nervousness and excitement, I believe are exactly the same.
The twins.
It's how you no, they're the same,
They're the same thing. It's just
chemical reaction in your brain.
It's just how we respond to it. Or
How do you respond to it?
How do you respond
Wow,
to it?
so it's
Chemically
our
in our
response.
body, it's exactly the same.
excitement, yeah.
But our feelings fuck it all up.
Right. Because now you process it a different way. You're like, oh, I'm nervous. I suppose someone's like, oh, I'm excited. I can't wait to go.
Yes.
Same thing, different reaction. And that's going to get you 2 different responses.
You
So
mentioned
right.
downstairs how you had like a little bit of a panic attack, and you kind of. Just the other day, I was telling Karen, I was at work and I'm walking up the stairs and I have to do a task that I'm kind of dreading and I don't want to have to do. And I got to the top of the stairs and I could like feel my heart beat. I could feel my veins beating out my neck. I could just like my vision. I could just tell. And I was like, I can't perform this task doing this. I cannot do this thing doing this. You got to realize what it is. You got to take that moment, address it what it is.
Address it.
Because if you don't, you brush it off, you push it down.
You'll never build from
Even
it.
if you get through the moment in a second, then it's gonna just come back even worse.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I'm not on any kind of medication right now for the first time in. I haven't been on any medication for about a month now, and I mean, I've been on regular medication for maybe about a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. But I feel really good, and we've talked about this. And like these last couple of months, I felt really good, and I feel okay being in. And to prove my point, I got through that moment. I recognized what was happening. I saw what was going on. I didn't need to do anything. I just needed to be in the moment and like understand what was happening and address it.
Take control of it.
Yes.
And control it as opposed to letting it control you the way it could have.
And going and addressing it, moving on, and like and doing it, and then doing the thing, right?
And you realize you're like, it wasn't that bad.
No.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The world goes on, right?
Yeah.
Which I mean, you say those things as you're built. As I'm walking up the stairs, I'm telling myself, it's nothing. It's that no big. You do this all the time. Blah 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 blah. But you lose track of all that shit. Like your heart starts beating. Your brain starts.
Well, there's so many different factors, and if you're unfamiliar with addressing it, then it's always going to be hard.
Or if
when
you're
doing it for
vaguely
the first
familiar,
time.
I feel like that's almost a little worse. If you like kind of know what's going to happen, but
Because
you don't. You're like,
probably remembering the worst parts of addressing
it's
it.
only happened once, and it was really bad the first time.
Emotional awareness, it's so mature though.
Oh, it
Like how
is.
do you, and like we're not gonna be spot on with being able to deal with it. I mean, I've learned at almost 30 years of being on this planet of how to address my emotions and how it can affect those around me, especially the one that I love the most.
Thank you.
I knew he was going to take it.
I know.
knew he was going to take it.
That's why I had to physically
knew it.
address
I saw you
my fiance.
physically aim. He was still like, I appreciate that.
I felt it. I felt
it wrapped
He was like, that's weird. Why'd you put it way over there? This
like-
is a silly mistake.
It's a good thing I'm sitting over here.
Melissa and Alejandro have this beef that's going on that they're just competing for my love. But yeah, it's just
Taco Bell beef.
grade D beef that is basically dog meat.
Right, that ostrich
Dog
flesh.
meat is grade C.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
That means
what is the
Taco
tier
Bell
list?
meat
is lower than dog food.
fucking sucks. I love Taco Bell. Shout out to Fertista Freeze.
Dude, I'm all about
sponsor
that.
me.
I'm all about the chalupa, bro.
Oh,
You seem
No,
like
the cheesy gordita crunch. Excuse me.
Oh, that sounds real good.
sad. I used to mess up like the steak quesadillas. I used to have like 4 back to back.
Fuck 'em up.
No respect for my body.
Do you,
Fuck
what
them up.
what
Fuck
do you
them up. Fuck them up.
Fuck
Let's
'em
do
up, bro.
it.
I was
what do you
there
put
going
in your
stupid.
body now?
Stop
Stop with that joke. I knew you were gonna go there. But
I'm gonna pee while he answers that because I don't want to be in this room because you're not gonna like the jokes I'd make.
I appreciate your joke, sir.
your metabolism is through the roofs. It must be.
I mean, now it's starting to slow down because I'm getting fucking old.
Stop.
No,
Every
don't.
other IG post you got is you with a shirtless pic saying, like, don't stop grinding. I got 20,000 abs.
Yeah, from a certain angle, my
Yeah.
guy. I'm like sucking.
Yeah. And then it says hashtag cum gutters.
You're a trash person, bro. Dude, legit. It's just like I don't get me wrong. I have days where I'm just like cheat meals. Fuck it. I'm hungry. I don't want to play this stuff. But for the most part, I've been vegetarian.
What's a cheat meal to you?
Human garbage trash can receptacle. I'd be like 2 cheese.
You're a raccoon. You just
Big
fucking.
facts. I'm just put it in my face. I had because I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat like that, and I don't eat dairy at all.
Wow,
But
wow.
yeah, it sucks because cheese is fucking.
You don't
amazing.
eat dairy because you're lactose intolerant?
Well, everyone's lactose intolerant. That's facts. But it's just I don't eat it because it's not good for you at all. It's a big fact. Like the whole milk thing, it's a big lie, a conspiracy theory.
Break it down.
That's
Tell
an
all these
absolute
milk
lie.
drinkers, these cheese
that is an
eaters.
absolute lie. You don't need milk. That's why like this is science. That's why when women have kids, right, their breasts produce milk for a specific person, that child that is made
You're gonna want to hear this.
uniquely for them.
Okay.
So then that's why when they're feeding the child, that child has the concoction that the mother made that's specifically made
specific
for
milk.
the child. That's why when we're eating drinking cow milk, I'm like, you're not supposed to drink that.
Because it's coming
It's
from
made for
another
the
animal.
It's made for the cow. It's not made for the person. That's not how that works. That's why even now, like when people when you drink milk and you have all the thick stuff in your throat, phlegm, all that stuff. I mean, you're not supposed to have that stuff. When I used to drink milk and eat cheese, my skin used to act up. I used to have bad skin rashes, my forehead. I used to have mad skin. What's it called? Eczema. Flare up.
You have impeccable skin right now. I gotta tell you. You know you got good skin.
Hey, listen,
You
I
know
came
you
here
got good
juiced
skin.
up. I was like, oh, you better compliment the fuck out of my skin.
You got the complexion of a Barbie doll. You look really good.
Ken doll, hello.
Of a Ken doll.
Did you want me
Okay.
to hear that? Because I was going to disagree with all of that.
Well, no, I mean it's
Because
just
I drink milk almost every day.
Yes,
Milk is bad for you, bro.
I drink whole milk.
It's terrible
he
for you.
drinks
all the time.
milk like
I
a
drink
farmer.
a glass of milk because Superman told me it makes my bones strong.
That's facts. That's not true.
And
at all.
also, I was a formula baby.
Okay.
I was formula all throughout my infancy and babyhood. And look at me. I'm in the top percentile of my weight and height when I was 1 year old. Thank you very much.
Look me out here.
I have a
But you
coworker-
have bad farts, bad
do.
shit.
He cut out all that part. He was like,
No,
wait a minute.
dude. All of your
Wait a minute.
excretions don't make sense.
My head just shit standing. He's like, how'd I get there?
No, you're referencing the Santa Cruz trip.
No.
Which was a bad day.
No, I'm referencing you at all times, and then you sweat at weird moments,
I do sweat at just the thought of activity.
and only his upper lip sometimes.
Oh my God.
Very sweaty at just the thought of activity. In fact, Melissa made a point when you guys came to watch me at the basketball game. Melissa's like, "That's the most I've ever seen you run ever." I said, "That's the most I've ever run
It was like
ever."
facts because there's a truth associated.
I
there.
played sports and didn't run that much.
Facts.
You were very red. You were pink.
My whole goal was just to not throw up, and it was an active fight. It was an
survive.
active
Survive.
fight. But
Girl.
it's because I got that Formula Strong foundation.
Oh, that's what
Were
it
you
was.
Formula Baby? No.
No, booby baby for sure.
Big facts.
My mom had to get back to work.
What do you say about my mom? My mom was an employed woman.
I know.
She
but
worked
your
for the
mom had
state.
time. Your mom.
Time.
I don't know. My mom wanted to work. She didn't like me, I guess. What do you want me to say?
Were you guys C-sections or through?
No.
Holy
You guys
shit.
went through the tunnel.
natural.
No.
I think I came out the tunnel, bro.
At the tunnel? At the tunnel?
well,
I was a
natural.
C-section
Yeah.
baby.
You will
crazy.
never be emperor of Rome, sir.
Big flex.
I know. I keep calling my mom lazy. It's really bad. It's
Put in the work.
What do you mean you got cut up for
Right.
me? She got C-sections twice.
Right.
You
But like,
mean it
what I
was
hear is
medically?
you quit
you mean you were
halfway.
gonna die if I went the other way, so they had to do it? No, mom.
Weak.
I wanted to be emperor of Rome.
You're a
You
quitter.
know what the C in C-section stands for?
What?
I'm scared.
Cesarean.
Oh, I
Because-
thought you were gonna
No.
say some weird
Facts.
joke.
Facts right here. Julius Caesar was the one who first wanted C-sections because all of the women he impregnated, he didn't want a natural birth.
No.
That would have made them
Because
the baby. That baby would have had the right to be emperor of Rome. So he had them do cesarean sections, so the baby doesn't have a rightful heir to the throne.
My
Just a
mind went in a
stupid
different
stipulation. I'm like, how does that work? You still came out the woman. What is it?
Bro, it was like
It's just a stupid idea.
114 AD, bro.
Right, and they were like, that logic
also-
is brilliant.
Yes, they also thought the cold was like caused by gnomes.
All right, big facts.
I thought the
Or in
logic.
Greek, they were like, oh, that's Zeus. Shut up. Shut up.
Burn him at the stake.
Right? Which? Like, oh my God.
I
Push him.
thought the logic that you were heading in was that Julius Caesar was not allowing natural births because it would do something to the.
No, you're thinking
he
of
would
the
be
daddy
se-
stitch. That's a modern day concoction.
A what?
Oh,
the
you talking
daddy
about
stitch.
when guys don't do the little surgery so they don't have kids anymore?
No. The daddy stitch is when the mom.
Say it. You already brought it
See,
up.
I'm
When a mom
convinced.
has the baby, right, Christian? What were you worried?
Why
Christian,
are you
hang on.
getting my?
Right.
Because you brought this up,
What
Christian.
you doing?
What would Caesar be worried about if the birth was natural?
I don't know if it was gonna do something to the
see
vagina.
this
because
one.
What would
that's
it do?
it's
What would it do?
It's
kid.
like, I don't know.
It would-
Some people think that it loosens it up.
Okay.
However,
okay.
it's a muscle, and so,
the
it stays tight.
Stop. They think it loosens it up. The daddy stitch is one more stitch to make it tighter.
Stitch. Where does the stitch go?
in the vagina, sir.
Like
Hey.
just like what bottom, top,
I'm gonna
side,
blow your mind
left.
because I know you
Whatever
haven't been
splits.
in a lot of like delivery
Whatever
rooms,
splits,
but when
bro.
babies
You know-
when babies are born, it rips.
Yeah, whatever
It tears.
splits.
No, I've heard.
They
I've-
fix.
Oh.
Yeah,
They
stitch it.
fix. And if the doctor is good friends with the dad, he'll fix it a little bit more. But that's actually fucked up. So don't do that to your wife, guys.
Right.
You let your women do what they
treated
want.
like a commodity. He was like, "Do me a salad." I wink. I was like, "Ew, sorry."
This is why
Slides
I
at
like
20.
Slides
at 20 at the
Yeah,
doctor's.
you're
Hey,
speaking
doc.
my language.
3 stitches.
This is
Right.
why midwives are more popular.
Right. Because they care.
No, it's because Kaiser doesn't want to pay the doctors.
That's what it was.
I mean, midwives are cheaper than doctors.
Oh, big facts. They'll just be like,
It
"Push the
always
baby
comes
out
back
the
to
pool."
money.
Yeah, big facts.
Um,
That was an
Damn.
amazing segue. I like that.
great segue. What were we talking about before? Oh, what do
Tax
milk?
increase?
Milk. We were talking
Tax
about milk.
increases?
Oh, yeah, milk.
So
What?
you don't drink milk.
No milk.
You don't eat cheese,
Humans are inherently lactose intolerant, though.
which is what he said
That's
while
what
you
I
were in the
literally
bathroom.
just
Yeah,
said.
humans.
We're
Humans
all literally
are.
like, we shouldn't be
But how
consuming
come,
milk
like,
like that.
it doesn't really hit me that? I mean, I don't drink a lot of dairy.
Yeah.
Actually, I do get a lot
The
of dairy
further-
substitutes.
Everybody take a chill pill here. The further away you are from Africa, the less you are to the real human DNA, right? Because humanity started in Africa and then humans spread all over the world.
Hey, man, but it's cool. It's cool.
The further away you are, the less like connections you have. That's why, like, I have no lactose intolerance at all. I can drink whole milk and not have any of those problems. I'm very far separated. My Native American Mexican genes have been so far and thousands of
far
generations
removed,
so far
right.
removed. Now we have to drink lactose. It's a viable thing.
Right.
At one point, at one time, it wasn't. So the further away you get, the further humanity spreads, things change.
And in that same argument, it's kind of like melanin, right? Some people like the lack of melanin now. They like the side effects are like skin cancer, X, Y, and Z, and that's something to consider.
Yeah.
So it's just like everything is about evolution. The further away you get from the source, then you start
true.
to lose certain things, and now you have to supplement them in some format or some way, or
fish-
figure out how to work around it.
Yeah, a fish at the top of the Euphrates River is going to be very different than the fish in the ocean.
Oh, absolutely. Location is everything.
Location.
Location.
Thank you, real estate agents.
Hey.
I mean, I don't know.
But do you have a little bit of lactose intolerance?
I get some stomach issues every now and then, but nah, dude, I could have a glass of milk and be chilling.
I mean,
I think I'll be fine.
I
I don't
could-
crave a glass of milk like a
Yeah.
fucking psycho.
I could eat
Right.
an ice cream sundae, chase it with a milkshake, and finish it with milk, and like not
Whole
have a
glass of
single
milk to
problem.
wash it down.
Yeah, I love milk.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Hot Ones challenge?
Oh yeah.
This
Okay,
guy.
that was a mistake.
Oh, you tried the chip?
No, we did the whole hot one challenge with all the
did
hot
all the
sauces.
sauces?
But I was
Oh, you're mad. Man.
chugging milk in between them,
Oh.
and that's
Gross.
what fucked me up.
Oh, I bet you were
left
like
for the
throwing up
bathroom.
and
I also
shitting.
ate sushi right before we did
Oh
it.
my God, sir! Dog, you were like, I gotta soften it up.
I thought the rice would be a nice
absorb it. I
bed,
thought that like absorb it.
but apparently the raw fish fucked me up.
Jesus Christ!
Can you do spicy? Is that something that you can do?
You know what's funny? So I have on my vision board, hot ones. I want to be on the TV show, or on the on the thingy. So I've been like slowly trying to implement myself. This is how I
You're
know.
training
So
for
no.
Hot
So the answer is
Ones?
no.
So the answer is fucking no. I just want to give you a nice build up to make it sound dramatic. Hot Cheetos makes me sweat.
No!
Let that come into perspective of how far down the ladder I have to work. And I had like one habanero pepper, and when I tell you my nose was running, I looked like my mom beat my ass. It was wild, aggressively wild.
But that
bro.
is the natural reaction to a habanero.
It's a natural reaction, but I'm
Yes.
like, this is a far off challenge if I'm supposed to be over here drinking Satan's blood, or whatever they call that shit. I'm like,
No,
Those hot sauces.
We have some downstairs.
Have the hot sauces downstairs.
You want to do it right now?
no, you ain't not gonna play me. I will
No,
die. This whole interview will be
Okay,
done.
there's 10 of them.
fucked.
We aren't going to make you do all 10. Just do the last one.
That's the worst.
That's the worst one.
I
Let's
was
make
like,
him
can I
do-
start with the beginning, sir?
Let's do this first one and then
bomb.
the seventh one.
Oh, the bomb is.
The bomb's fine.
The bomb's messed up.
I did date a girl once who couldn't even eat black pepper on stuff.
I'm like, man.
Pepperonis were
like
too
ground
spicy.
pepper?
Yeah, pepperoni was too spicy. So as long as you're not on that level, you'll be all right.
No. She's like, mayonnaise is spicy.
mayo.
Mayonnaise
is
was
spicy.
her safe space.
I'm gonna say that sounds like a safe space mayo response right there. A little bit of salt. Oh my God, who's spicy?
She was British.
You look like you do take care of your health, though. Very. I mean, are you counting macros?
And cutting milk out would be part of caring for your health.
Yeah,
'Cause it's liquid
that's
fat.
insane. No, it's insane. No, I'm not doing.
What's
that.
your regimen? And teach us so we can look like you.
Big facts? This is all I do. I drink a smoothie in the morning. I don't eat. I just snack throughout the day and drink water, and then I just have one meal of white rice or brown rice, and like vegan meat,
Okay.
and then just a shitload of broccoli. And then I'm like done.
Okay, so you're getting your protein, you're getting your carbs.
And a lot of fiber.
Greens.
Yeah, in the greens. Because that's why I squeeze it in the morning when I just blend it all. And I just
What are you
eat it.
blending in the smoothie?
Yeah,
It's
what's in this?
kale, spinach, and I have like some shit from like GNC, which is like, oh, like the green packet. I'm like, that's green. It's probably some vegetables in that shit. And I see the red one. I'm like, that's red. It's probably beets in that shit. And it's probably just all that shit. And
Oh, I
Not
love-
wrong.
I
No,
take
that
a little bit of that.
solid logic.
Yeah, and then I read it. And I'm like, and then there it is. And I put a little bit of ginger, some turmeric. That's good for your heart. And then, yeah, some chia seeds.
Are you happy with your relationship with food?
I mean, fucking food is amazing, so I would love to have it again, bro.
I mean,
And
I
he was
treat
so
her
upset. He
really
was like-
well, but she does not respect me.
He was like, that sounds so sad, bro.
It sounds no. I get it. I'll tell you what my regimen is afterwards.
And
it
then
looks
I'll
like
tell you mine.
He was like, I didn't hear a single glass of milk and all of that.
It's weird. When did the 20 McNuggets come into factor?
Hey, where's the corn dogs, bro?
I mean, the fact that
Hey, that was just us for downstairs. You did not need to bring up the corn dogs up
I
here.
said that out of jest. I said
You
that
know
in
I
jest.
hide things on this show.
I said that in jest.
The corn dogs.
more than one corn dog a day will not keep the doctor away, dude.
2 is the serving size.
You've had 3
I
in
used to
one
go
didn't
plate.
through
finish the third one,
I
it
used
was
to go
cool.
through like boxes of corn dogs back in the day, bro. Like 8.
You used to?
He's teasing me, but it's his house that owns the corn dogs. I didn't bring these corn dogs.
They just pop up on my plate.
He has them.
Growing up, you said you were like a Tootsie Pop, right?
Yeah, bro.
So
you gotta keep in
skinny,
mind,
big
I
head.
was a skinny kid with a high metabolism, so I was
I thought
eating
that was your favorite snack.
all. Nah, bro. That was a literal reference, bro. I was just like, a little,
That's how you
just
walk
like
around.
That. Just like that, bro. I was obnoxious, bro. Big head,
Little
bald.
gremlin.
And I was like, it's
That's
gross.
Pennywise.
Right. Big facts, bro. Big facts. We're dancing clown. And I was just eating all sorts of food because I just had high metabolism. And I was just, fucking kid shit, just sprint. Hey, look how fast I can run.
You would do that.
I was
You were one of the kids
I
that
was
said,
an obnoxious fucking
"I
kid,
bet I can
bro.
run faster than you."
I think I run faster.
See, and you said that I
Fucking
would be the
annoying,
one
bro.
who would challenge you. No, because I wasn't fast.
Yeah, bro.
You weren't.
I knew I couldn't run fast.
I
What
knew
was-
I was fast. So I was like,
I played football. I knew exactly where my athletic ability ended. I knew
Okay.
exactly where my abilities
Where
ended.
were your guys'
Juggling.
you did that in on the
If I
playground?
could challenge anybody to a juggle off. I just
juggle off.
I recently got a new job and I had that moment of being like, do I make a mask and fake myself in front of these people or do I just be real? And I decided to just be real. And the other day I was juggling in front of them and one of them goes, yeah, I think I get everything. I think I understand everything about you now. I think I get it. And I was like, yeah,
I don't take that, but all right.
I mean, I learned how to juggle because my parents bought me a book on how to juggle because I didn't have friends in middle school.
You're just a weird guy.
I learned how to juggle from a book.
So you're so weird to the point where we had Danby, shout out. Danby came through earlier today with his 3 kids, and kids have no filter.
None.
To the point where when they saw you, not even Sharmaarke, where they met you for the first time. They didn't say it. They got along with you easy, but they saw Alejandro and said, "Stranger danger, stranger danger," and I feel
My
bad.
dick was out.
Fair.
Oh no, I hate that joke so much.
No, what were you saying? So the kids seem strange danger,
And I started-
I'm crying.
I chanted along with them. So
It was rough, man.
was
I'm
rough.
not a stranger danger.
It was rough, man. I appreciated you.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids do love me though. You've seen some. There are some kids who do love me. Have
There
you ever
truly
seen me
are.
with kids who like?
yeah, kids. I think kids like you better than they like me. This batch you just had.
Kids like me if I'm introduced to them. I'm figuring it out actually just right now. That's what it is. If kids just see me, as to what you said, I'm a tall, impending,
Yeah.
kind of scary kind of person.
Kind of, sure.
But I like magic and juggling and Hot Wheels.
It's kind of like the kids can tell the substance. The
maybe
character.
Are stranger danger at the core. I hate that.
What was the game attack, bro? Extra long rope.
Oversized.
It all
Oversized,
ties
bro.
back.
I gotta call my mom real quick.
Right? He's like, let me talk to you outside, little guy.
I gotta get out of here.
What do you do on your free time? So I know that you're grinding all the time. I know that being an actor in LA, you are constantly focused on your work, and knowing just you just want to keep grinding and getting better and better.
It's
and
almost
better.
it's almost like bad. I have to teach myself to actively stop. Like my girl or just like myself or people, I have to tell myself to actively be like, shut off. You're not doing anything today. And just do something else that isn't acting related. So one of my things is, this is so random, dog. I started a fucking kayak. That shit is mad
That
fun.
is so random, but so dope.
Fucking hey, I'll keep it real with you, bro. I'm a black dude, just like yeah, just fucking kayaking, bro. This shit is wild. There's no black people I saw that kayak.
Sir, get out of the LA River.
Right.
That's our reservoir for drinking
So
water.
like, where did he steal that kayak from? Jesus Christ! And I'm just out there like,
This is a wooden canoe, miss.
fucking it up, bro.
Wait, by yourself? You just by
That's what I'm
yourself
saying.
is crazy.
No context. I'm just out there in the kayak. I'm just like boat.
Wait.
Just
Sharmaarke, are you doing the
bro.
whole thing where you like you set up the kayak not in the water and then you like scoot
No,
yourself up?
I'm not that guy. I'm like, yo, that sounds like pretty OG. Like, I'll just like scooch in the water with my ankles in the water. I'm like, oh, it's cold. Roll my sleeves, I'll slide in.
my feet are
You're right,
wet.
my feeties. I take my
So
socks
you
off.
wear jeans while you
I do, bro.
kayak?
Like a psychopath, bro. Because
You're wearing this outfit.
Legit, bro. Blue jeans and a white shirt. Like I'm working in someone's construction yard.
They
I'm like,
make
yeah.
water wear, bro. That man is lost on a kayak.
Legit. Everyone else has like kayak gear. And I'm just like,
helmet
with a
and shit.
beanie on, just, just look like a psycho. Like, oh, you clearly robbed
This
somebody.
is my
right?
cardigan. What am I
Right?
supposed to do?
I went random, bro.
Christian, yes.
How does one get started?
Oh, that's
In
a good
kayaking?
question.
No, that's a fair fucking response.
How do you just?
Can I try and?
Please.
You were
I
at
wanna hear
a
the backstory.
sleepaway camp,
Fair.
and the camp counselor said kayaking is how you get girls.
And I was like, say more. Go on.
Say less. Give me the
Say
kayak.
less. Give me that yak.
You know, someone
Yeah.
kayaks.
Is that what they say? Give me that yak.
That's what I was going to say. Just be obnoxious. Let me get that yak. They'll be like, what? I'm like, sorry, kayak. I'm sorry. Let me get the kayak.
I would like to rent the one kayak, please.
One
I imagine
good sir.
Oh God! Next time you get,
random.
because you rent kayaks, you don't know. Do you own one?
No, I want to buy one now because I'm like, this is
Okay,
how
so the
legit
next
I
time you
feel.
rent one, though, please,
Let me get that
please
yak.
walk up to the desk and just be like, "Yo, let me get that yak for 3 hours."
Hold eye contact. Let me get that yak. I need glasses. Let me get that yak. She's like, well, I don't know. She mean, you know what I mean. Let me get that yak.
So how did
She
it
pull out a
start?
bag of cocaine.
Legitimately, I'm just like, I accept, but no. Let me get that yak. But no, it was, so long story short, I went to the beach. This was one of those days when my girl was just like, hey, you got to just chill out. And I was like, all right, bet. Let's just chill out. So the missus and I and the little one was just in the beach. The little one's over here losing her mind. She's like, Sand, ah. And I'm like, that's what's up. Good response. Sand is pretty fucking crazy. And so we're just
Sand
chill-
is wild.
Sand is wild.
To a
so we're
baby.
chilling. And I'm just looking at these little people out there kayaking. And I was like, I want to just do random shit I've never fucking done. Like, I like water. I like nature. But I was like, fucking kayaking. I was like,
What?
got it. And then I just walked over to the people and I was like, can I kayak? And she was like, yeah, sure. I was like, what do I need to worry about? She was like, drowning. I was like, whoa. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
constantly. But what I need to worry about right
Yeah,
now?
like permanently. I was like, currently right now. She was like, just,
Pirates.
you know, yeah, right. I was like, all right. But then, so I got out there, they pushed us out. And you know what it was that clicked for me? I told my girl this because I was just like, I like peace. And I like stillness because I feel like I'm always on the move. So I appreciate moments when I stop.
Yes.
And just being on the water when there's nothing around. When you can, like, everything is based off me. If I pedal, I go. If I stop, I'm just in there. And the water's quiet. I'm not in the fucking nibble of the ocean with the fucking waves. I'm just, so it's just quiet. And I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, It's such a serene feeling. And immediately I feel all my anxiety just drain out of me because I'm just like, this is
I got it
quiet.
right here. Just
I can feel
thinking
it
about
vicariously
Right?
through you.
Yeah.
Have you
It's-
been like paddleboarding? Have you ever done paddleboarding?
They had that too. I was just like, I don't feel comfortable standing because I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's weird. That's weird.
I got that feeling the first time I went paddleboarding at a family reunion or something.
Right.
A couple of my cousins had one.
Yeah.
And it is that weird moment of like, because at least for me, maybe I got a little too far out. I was like, I'm not close to like anybody. Like it's all
so
on me.
silent. It's just you.
Quiet.
Tranquil.
Water, me.
Yeah. And it's just like I feel like those are the things that you really appreciate because when we
You don't
caught,
get it here.
We don't get it here. You get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of the movement. Everyone and everything is around you saying, "Oh, you got to get it. You got to move. You got to hustle. You got to do this. You got to always move on to the next." And not anyone or people rarely just tell you, "You got to just appreciate the moments. Just be here. Just be present. Just enjoy the now." And in those moments, like I already know when I get home, like I'm like I want to live somewhere like fucking like in the Midwest or some shit, like in Colorado. I can imagine just being like, all right, I just want to live in Montana, somewhere in the cold, just walk outside. I want to look at a river and just see the stream and just sit there and just be like, that's all I need. Just hear that in
Wow.
trees and just smell that cold air. Like whenever I go to Tahoe, bro, I damn near cry because I'm like, this is just beautiful.
You really could exist in nature.
I could literally. I was like, if I didn't do acting, I was like, I'd come down here once a while with a big ass beard. What's up? Let's do this podcast. I didn't fucking hike back.
Wow.
Live in the fucking woods. If I didn't have any of my family or none of that, I'd just be like, I'd be fine. Just living, doing nothing. Just
I've
staying in
noticed
the woods.
myself asking this question to a lot of guests because it organically comes up. But
Will you
could
kiss me?
And he was just like,
I'm sorry, could you?
turn these cameras off?
And then they never come back to the podcast.
Right?
No, could you survive in the wilderness? Do you think you...
You have brought that up a lot to guess. That's
Because
a
it's
great question,
such-
though.
It's so good, and it tells a lot about any
I'll-
human living
It's like
in
that
this
show
society.
Alone.
I think I would figure it out.
That's my
Love
thing.
that
I would
answer.
figure it out.
I don't think I'd figure
think-
it out.
I think you would. I think you would fuck up a lot.
You'd figure out.
I know, but that's not like a you thing. I think everyone would. Because there's no
Okay.
fucking way you're going to be like, oh yeah, I've never made a fire without a goddamn Bunsen burner. Without
Have
a
you
burner.
made a fire without a Bunsen burner?
That's why I was like, that's insane. To be, I'm not a caveman. I'm
I
not supposed
have.
to be like, yeah, Flint. No.
I've used Doritos to start a fire.
Shut up.
a
Yes.
bag?
Doritos?
One chip.
One chip?
The caloric intake of, and also you can use peanuts. You can light the peanut on fire. It's good tinder.
Okay. I thought
But,
you
how-
said penis.
but lighting the fire.
You bring a lighter. It's 2023.
Oh,
Okay.
motherfucker.
I'm talking about,
What are you talking
like
about?
the fucking dudes with the wood and it's like, yeah, do that
I
shit.
thought you
Okay.
rubbed two Doritos
Yeah,
together.
that's
But
why
I
I was
have,
like,
but I
go
have
on.
also used the flint and steel. I do also know how to make a fire with
That's
flint and
Okay,
steel.
good. You
Okay,
should lead with
okay,
that rather
okay,
than saying...
okay.
That's not what I used to light the Dorito on fire.
Yeah, I was like,
though.
was it a
That's what
flaming
sounded
hot
bro.
Dorito?
'Cause I did. I was like, wait, you use Doritos? You were just like, yeah, clearly
Okay.
if you mark it from the left
Next
side.
time you go camping and you prepare with matches or a lighter,
Okay.
you don't need to go find kindling. You can just use a Dorito
Okay.
or a peanut.
Okay, so for
I love that.
So for context, if I had the proper tools, yes, I'd be
Yes,
fine.
yes.
But if I was
Oh, I'm
out here on
sorry, I
some
thought
naked
we
and afraid
prepared for
shit,
things.
I'd be like, I'd probably fuck up a lot.
Yeah, let's say
fuck
let's
up.
say nothing. Let's say Tom Hanks from Castaway just like crashed. He didn't have much.
He had an emergency kit.
I think,
One emergency
I
kit.
think I'd figure it out.
I think I might figure out for a month.
No,
If I'm on an island with no predators, like Tom Hanks was on Castaway, I think I could do okay.
you'd be fine. Yeah, because the predators would put a whole new.
A predator
that's a
changes
whole other
everything.
Situation because now you're hunted, bro. Can you imagine that shit in the middle of the night? You're trying to sleep and you hear fucking walking around. I would shit myself.
Or
bro.
laughing.
Or Jesus Christ.
Or
I would.
laughing.
The lion laughs. Yeah.
I just heard a podcast about the Donner Party. Apparently, the last leg
No.
of their trip
No.
was just they could hear laughters of the Native Americans who were gonna come and steal their stuff once they died.
Oh, they were just being watched.
They were just being watched and
What? They were
laughed
just
at.
being watched.
Yo, that's creepy.
Dude, are you good with like scary movies? Are
Oh, I
you
love
good with
scary
like
movies.
you love scary
That's
movies?
like my
Do you like
Favorite-
scary stories?
Yeah, my podcasts are like scary, like what do you call those things? Skinwalkers, Wendigo stories. Shit like
Okay.
that. Like that's my shit, bro.
Shut up. You want to talk about Skinwalkers right now, bro? You want to talk about Skinwalker Ranch?
I'm about that shit. It's legit because they had a lot of weird shit that happened on Skinwalker
They
Ranch.
sent
Alejandro
United
just fell in
States
love.
agents. They sent Project Blue Book was a $1 million funded U.S. research fund on Skinwalker Ranch. They sent the best scientists there to figure out what was happening there, and they came out and said, "We don't know if
don't
it's
know.
ghosts.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's aliens. We don't know if it's an animal that we just haven't figured out yet. But there is something there on this ranch, on this farm, and it's fucking smart and way more powerful than we are."
Aliens, bro.
How long ago?
It's the skin. Well, first of all, the Donner Party did pass through where Skinwalker Ranch is, and they lost a lot of people there. The Native Americans wouldn't go to that area. It was eventually bought and used by a family, and it had been bought and sold by a couple of different families. But the 70s, the 80s, all the way through until the 2000s, there have been either UFO sightings, full rifts in our dimensions
said that.
sightings. There has been lights, animals, people.
Yeah.
There has Skinwalker Ranch is one of the scariest things in the world to look at because all of it is fucking real.
Do you believe in it?
I do.
That's the problem with Skinwalker Ranch.
Because it's just like there's a lot of stuff that you can't understand. That I'm like,
Roswell,
logic doesn't
an alien,
doesn't correlate to that.
Yeah,
And
three
then-
eyes. You
right,
can
and
believe,
then-
not believe that or what?
Right, and then I also believe like I feel like the idea of thinking we're the most intelligent species in the entire universe, or we're the only. I'm like that's such a human thing to think.
So
That's
egocentric,
such
man.
ego. That's such an egotistical like human thing to think.
That we are the most advanced
We're
species
the most
out
that
there?
everything revolves around us. I was like,
No,
you're
dude.
insane.
I mean, what's
fucking
scarier?
insane.
That we aren't the only race,
That was a,
or
that
that
was a
we
quote.
are?
Right.
Yeah.
Like the true terror is knowing is either knowing that we're alone or that we're not. Either are equally terrifying.
But yeah, and I'd rather live with the terror of knowing that there's something else out there. What would you guys rather live with the terror of thinking that we are that? That's it?
I mean, I don't
I
know.
would want
I
there
don't
to
know.
be something else. I don't want there to be someone else to interact with me during my lifetime.
But it's just like, what if that's something else being out there? You don't know what its intentions are.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fear factor because you can't control it because people want to control things. They want to understand and control it and figure it out.
Humans want to control
Humans want to
things.
control things, right? And that idea of you kind of just being like a helpless pawn, just being like, I'm just here. Whatever could happen, and I have no serious control of it. That's the real terrifying thing. Because if you knew there was something out there, but it couldn't hurt you at all, I wouldn't give two flying fucks if they're an aliens. I'm like, nah, fucking alien up. But
You would?
if I knew it couldn't do shit to me, I'd be, shut up. What's up?
You wouldn't try to befriend it?
No, I would,
Like
but I'm
ET?
saying if there's no fear of
First of all-
it. So it's like, it's a different level as opposed to if you thought that could really pose a real threat, that's a different dynamic. Because now there's a fear-based dynamic as opposed to, I can just be as organic as I want. But now that there's fear there's always that idea of what if
That does change
you
things.
can attack me, right?
Yeah.
But do we ever feel, us in this room, that maybe we're projecting our human flaws onto these aliens? Because the thought is when white man came to America and we met the indigenous people here, we killed them all out immediately because we wanted the land and we wanted the power, we wanted the land. And so our logic is that's what aliens would do. But as much as I believe that is very feasible, why would we ever think that these beings would have the same logic and process that we do?
I think it's 3 categories. I think it's they could come just to observe. They could come just to take the resources and not be violent, or they can come and be like terraformers or conquerors and be like, I just want to take shit because I can. So it could fall into one of those 3 categories. I don't think we've seen the latter because otherwise this would be a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
So I think it's either like they've probably come and gone, like when you see sightings and they're just like, oh, look at that shit. Huh. And they just dip, or they come, they interact, we never know, or instances like Area 51 where they do touch down, and now government officials probably like have a relationship with them. We're like, hey, you can't do this. I'm like, all right, cool, relax. I don't want to fuck up your society anyways.
Yeah.
And then they go about their business, and we don't know, we're none the wiser. So I think it's either of those 3 categories. We haven't gotten to like
And
the
that'll
third.
dictate how we react to them. But then how do we even identify?
You wouldn't.
I mean,
We just wait? Do we let them make the first move?
I think
if they do,
right, if they even care enough. Because it's just like human, and I think you made a good point. I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I
you're
think you
fine.
made a good point where it's like that's a human thing to throw our fears like, it's because we're conquerors and we're killers and we're murderers. What if they're like that? What if they're just like, we don't give a shit about that? We've evolved past that. We're
What if
flying
they
through
chill?
galaxies. We don't give a shit about killing.
Yeah, they're
Like,
just saying what's up.
just
right?
saying what's up, right? Like this is just a road trip on a trip to like maybe Saturn. Like, oh, look at that, that's what's up. Bam.
My thought process is if they have come to visit us, then they already are more advanced than us because they have technology, to get to us.
here.
So if they were
at
to,
the least, they're able to
so
travel.
they
space
would
and
make the
time.
first move if anything.
If I want, like,
We have to prepare for a
bro,
reactionary thing.
Like they had like a space shuttle go to Pluto and it took like 24 years, and then they finally got like reception from it. Like, oh shit, we forgot about that. If motherfuckers are flying to, if motherfuckers are flying like,
forgot.
The Voyager 2 satellite was intended just to go to Saturn
yeah,
and respond back. And it went past Pluto
right.
and then sent a radio message back to NASA that they were able to read and track. And they were shocked.
Yeah, because they didn't intend that.
I don't know if I'm afraid of aliens or if I'm ready for them to come, because my thinking is, and I've told you this too, I have 2 schools of thought. And one is very human,
Right.
and one is very analogous. The human one is in relationship to what India has done to those islands just off of their coast that are like full of natives, where they don't even let any Westerners in. Anytime a missionary or somebody tries to go over there, they kill them. They throw spears and they shoot them with bows and arrows. When helicopters fly over, they're throwing stuff at them. And India, because they're the biggest power, they said that island is ours. No one is allowed over there. You're not allowed to touch them.
Right.
Every once in a while, one person will find their way in there and they fuck everything up and these people end up killing them. What if Earth is this planet that is being watched by a bigger planet that is saying, no one's allowed over here. Earthlings aren't technologically advanced. They don't have the brain capacity to understand what it is. But every once in a while, some rogue or person who says, I can reach them, I can talk to them,
Comes to Earth.
comes to Earth and they fuck it all up and they crash. And now we got Roswell. Now we got alien interactions. Now we have Betty and Barney Hill who are being abducted and taken. We have, the Andreessen affair. We have all of these connections to these aliens infractions. And that's why maybe they're not doing it right. That's why they're mutilating animals and they're doing crop circles and stuff. It's because these people aren't the best, because for the most part, people are being blocked out. Or that's one thinking. If there is a bigger logic and understanding that we don't have. Or we are in a place where there are interdimensional beings who have figured out how to cross both space and time, because we know by fact, because space is a fact. The closest star to us would look at Earth and see dinosaurs.
Yep.
So somewhere along the lines, they're able to pass through space and time. That's an interdimensional being. The reason why the government and the people would never tell us about that is because we all keep saying we're ready for it. Tell us there's aliens. Tell us there's a UFO. Tell us you have Area 51. They won't tell us it. And the reason why they won't is because what they're going to tell us will fundamentally change what every human knows about everything. It will destroy religion in every facet. It'll make all of the evangelist generals, all of the evangelists in Senate ruin everything that they have. It'll upend everything on this planet if they prove to us that there's aliens.
I'm glad you said that, because I had an argument with a homie of mine, and I was arguing that exact point, and he was like, "No, people would be much more understanding."
That's why they won't tell us.
And I was like, "You give people way too much credit."
It would stir up way more chaos.
If it was just there are aliens on Saturn, there's other beings on another planet, they would have by now told us.
Right.
But it's bigger and scarier and more unknown than that. And we know. I mean, look at COVID. Everybody bought toilet paper instead of...
Lost their minds over something like that. Yeah, and now imagine having a conversation.
It wasn't a shitting disease.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with shitting.
And people were so terrified. I got to shit.
Nothing else ran out until later on. Then used cars started going out, but then bullets started toilet paper went first. Not bullets. Despite what the rednecks say in Arkansas. Yeah. Toilet paper went first.
Yeah,
humans aren't smart.
Humans are stupid. They're pack animals. They're sheep.
And we get dumber in big groups.
That's what I was gonna say. That pack mentality. It's a sheep mentality where you get caught in the herd, and then now one person says this, and that trickle effect just goes down, and then the individual thought goes out the window because the mass hysteria hits, and you're all like, "Oh, I'm caught in the wave."
I thought of this line just the other day. Individuals can do good.
Right.
Groups cannot.
Groups are terrible.
A group cannot do good.
It's kind of nuts how much we are natural assimilists, right? In a group of people, let's say for like a stand-up comedy show, we're watching one person and we won't laugh until someone else to the left of us or across the stadium laughs, because we're getting validation subconsciously that this is funny. If that person thinks it's funny, that gives me more of a reason to laugh at this.
Yeah,
I'm assimilating. We're assimilating. And then it's just contagious from there on. However, we don't trust ourselves when we're thinking on our own. I connect to that because I always have to ask Melissa, do you think I should get cherry or Coke icy? Right? And because I can't trust I fucking can't trust myself.
I'm sorry. I don't think that's you not trusting yourself. I think that if you're only given two options, you don't know which one's right. Because I get that way too. Yeah. I always tell people the video game that fucked me up was Pokemon, because it gave me 3 options when you start.
Oh, that fucked you up?
That fucked me up at a very early on. I don't want 3 options. Tell me which one.
Just tell me which one's the best one.
So it's like, I don't think your problem is. I think your problem is that it's the multiple options.
Yeah, I'm bad with options. You're right. Typically, I do trust my own gut, but even then, I still need that external validation of someone saying like, "No, that was the good option to go with, bro."
To confirm you, to make you feel like, okay, I did good. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can I ask you something about that? And
of
it's
course.
a little bit of a shift, but knowing that somebody is validating it, I recently thought to myself, like, I don't really like create anything, any kind of like art, or if I'm like drawing something, or if I'm like trying to do, I'm always relating it to something that I know. And I see other artists, like a person who's able to do like sketches, for example, and they're able to just draw a line and build from that. I'm not. I have to like draw back to something that I know, right? Do you ever feel like, that if you didn't have something, like, I don't feel creative. I just feel like I'm
Borrowing.
I think I get what you're saying.
Refining?
I don't think, because I think we're at a point in human history where nothing we do is brand new. I think we're always just reinventing something. Nothing we do is new. Music isn't new. Art isn't new. Acting isn't new. The car isn't new. We're just refining things at this point. So we might have a different perspective on it or a different vantage point that we might appreciate, but it's not new. It's just almost like a revision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because art has been made. Art is art. And at that point, art is subjective to a certain extent. It's like it's whatever you perceive it to be. So even if you take it from something that you saw it from initially that was already made, and now you're just revising it in your own POV, your own image. So
Which I guess by definition makes it
new.
its own thing.
It's its own thing now, but everything has a starting point. And it's just like, I always tell people that I was like, nothing we're doing is new. It's just, we're just putting our spin on it.
You're talking to any artist, whether it is acting, music. Let's say music, for example. I mean, me as a singer and me having talked to other musicians, you having been a rapper before, one of the most common questions you get when you're that type of creator in this realm that is art, which is subjective, one of the main questions is just like, who do you get your inspiration from? And there's always inspiration from someone because we're always borrowing from someone, and it turns into like, okay, nothing is new, but we put our own spin to it.
Right.
A rapper could always take from J. Cole and Kendrick and Kanye and put it all, and then do something else with it. But that was their base inspiration, and it's a new spin. But nothing is ever really
You
new.
see it all the time. The rappers before, they were inspired by those before. The other ones were inspired by those before. Biggie was inspired probably by like all those other guys. And then J. Cole and Kendrick are inspired by Jay-Z. The cycle continues. Everyone looks at the past, appreciates it, and creates their own.
Yeah.
It's always a foundation that's built on. It's not a new foundation. I'm never looking and saying, I'm going to create a brand new art of acting. No, you're not.
No.
I'm just creating something that I've already seen, and I'm just extrapolating what I like and putting my own version of it on. Yeah. And that uniqueness is what people appreciate because they're like, oh, I haven't seen it done that way, as opposed to I've never seen that before. Yeah, you have. Cut it out.
Yeah.
You've seen it every time you turn on the TV. Maybe you just don't like it the way it's done, or you don't like the way it sounds, or you don't like the way it looks, but you've seen it before. It's just, it has another look or spin or sound, but it's done.
And it's those finite little changes, those what's the
those
word
small
for it?
nuances.
The nuances that make it or break it for some artists,
make it
because
different.
it's just like, okay, wow, Heath Ledger's nuances with this Joker definitely were way different than any other person that could do it, right?
Because and here's something else to add on top of that. It's not the art that's different and that's new. It's the people. The people are the new things. Because I've never seen what Alejandro could do to it. Art is always going to be art, whether when we die or not. But it's the person that now picks up the brush or the microphone or the camera that does their spin that makes it something newer.
Yes.
And it's the people that then give it the context to be new, as opposed to the idea or the thing itself. The thing has been there and it will continue to be and exist.
Because the brush and the microphone and camera have always been.
They'll always be. They'll never.
You actually named three things that we can definitively find a time when those three things.
Yeah, I realized that as I said it.
But you're right.
But the metaphor is there.
Right. Yeah. So it's just that. It's the people that are the new factor to those things to make it different.
I think where I'm sitting then is maybe I'm so inspired, enamored, or jealous of the few that do change, the few that don't go, the few that change that opportunity to somebody who, like Christopher Nolan, is going to be like, I'm going to make Memento, and I'm not going to do the distinguished storyline plot. I'm going to mess it all up. I'm going to cut it in half, fold it on itself, and then for the rest of the time, now people are doing it like that. It's always so it's like,
it sounds like you're trying to figure out how to be memorialized.
You don't have to be necessarily. I mean,
then that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, dude, go. Yeah.
I feel like he came across it almost organically, and sometimes that comes you stumble upon that. You know, we're not ever trying to be anyone else. I think there's a difference between copying someone's art rather than being influenced and inspired by someone else's, and sometimes that organically with your own twist leads into your own Christopher Nolan piece that is Memento.
It's your own interpretation, because Christopher Nolan was inspired by all the other people who picked up cameras or cinematography choreography or whatever. And then he looked at it and said, I like what I like, take certain parts of it, and then now put my own spin on it. Hence the whole specific way he did Memento. But the way he's put together a movie, I bet everyone has probably put together movies in some format in that format. And he learned from the people preceding him. Now, for you, it's just like, take what you like and then just go like, no, how would Alejandro do this? What would I do to make it interesting? What do I like? And that's subjective.
And I think
is a big question.
it's the only question.
That's the only question.
And I think that's the hard part for me because my response would be like, well, Martin Scorsese would make this idea, or Judd Apatow would do this decision, or and I'm always having. But I guess I guess it comes back to that Rick Rubin quote of him being like, I don't know music theory, I don't know music, I don't know any of this, but I know what I like, and I know what sounds good, and I'm confident.
And Christian Bale did this thing too. I was watching it. It was on I think the GQ or something like that, where he was just like, I don't know music or acting theory, or I haven't done any of that stuff. I don't read the scripts. I don't watch old movies. I don't know that stuff. I just like it, and I just study it, and I read it, and I do my best.
Clear.
I'm like,
it's clear.
That's all you need. If you compound it and overcomplicate it, it becomes something else and it becomes work. Just enjoy it and just do something. Like what I did today, just do something.
Yeah.
And what that experience is going to be something new that people are like, I've never seen it done that way. I like that way. That's something new. Yeah. That's it. It's just believing in yourself enough to be like,
the Sharmaarke way. That audition is the one that got you.
Zooming on the camera on this point right here. Just like, da-da-da, freeze the camera right there.
I gotta piss again.
It's all good. But that's it, bro. It's just coming down to those moments and just going, what is it that I like? What is it that I do that is unique to me that people can see what makes me me, the genuineness of me, that then people go, I like that person, or I care about that person, or that's an interesting person. If I'm copying you, I'm not me. If you're copying me, you're not Christian. Christian is interesting. Sharmaarke is interesting. Sharmaarke Christian is, what the fuck is that?
What is it about acting? How can you translate this kind of passion of finding your own way to put a spin on an art that has existed for a while? With that being said, why is this your passion, and why did you get into this?
Because it's therapeutic.
Nice.
There's a freedom to it that a lot of other avenues don't allow. In acting, you can just be you, and that's literally all they ask. They ask you to come in and be yourself, and that is the most consistent thing you will hear. Be grounded, be you, and just listen and react. Meaning, how would you be in this circumstance? And in Meisner, which is what I study, it's just imagining yourself in imagining circumstances, and just saying, how would you react in that space in an imagining circumstance? So like what Alejandro said when he was doing his activity, and then he comes in, and then the young lady comes in and she talks about the pregnancy, and he imagined how he would react based off of the context that happened to him in his life. So he took real stuff that then added into him, which then gave him real life, as opposed to try to fake it or pretend it.
Yeah.
And that's infinitesimally more interesting than anything that you can pretend to do, because you can feel real. You can tell when someone's bullshit, and you're like, that's fake.
But you can feel
you can
authenticity.
feel authenticity. When you can see someone really sad or really angry or really happy, you feel it, right? Like even in real life, if when I was excited, I wasn't fake. I was like,
I saw it in you today, and it was one of the most beautiful moments, because it was the mixture of not having seen a homie for 2 years.
Facts.
Right? And then seeing them for the first time. And usually, like, when you see someone for the first time after a while, like, there's some catching up to do. But to see you at such a high,
already
and
at
such
the top,
a genuine, emotionally transparent level, where within the first 2 minutes, you told me some really good news that you booked a great gig that I'm so proud of you, and is well deserved.
Thank you, man.
Seeing the water just build up in your eyes, talking about the excitement, talking about the hard work, talking about all the relatable hurdles that you've gone through to get to this moment, and
it's inspiring.
It's inspiring because when you said there were so many moments in your career as an actor living down there where you were just like, maybe it's just not meant to be, maybe this is just another passion in my life, where this is the
It
end,
ran its
right?
course, yeah.
Right? And it's that kind of self-talk that we could all relate to as creators that make us kind of really question our talents. But it is the consistency, it is the perseverance of putting in the work that you just did that gets you that fucking thing that makes it all worth it in the end.
Because at the end of the day, bro, you gotta believe in yourself. And I believe the fuck out of myself.
I know you do.
I'm like,
that's very clear.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I won't get it today, but there's no doubt that I won't get it. It's just a matter of when.
Love that.
Not an if, it's a when. And that's how I.
Do you ever feel not like that?
Yeah, there's days where I'm just like, man, like when I said earlier, like if you do like X amount of auditions and you're getting none of them, that will weigh on you. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm just doped up on positive vibes all day. That's just called lunacy. That's just called you're living in la la land. You're not real. That's not reality. You still have to have realistic expectations and goals. And I hold myself to a realistic expectation. I'm like, I done the work. I did this. So I have backing to say, I know I'm good because I did the work to prove it.
Yep.
So now when I do what I do and I say, oh, I can get it because I know I can because my work ethic proves it. And when I compete against people who are working like that and I'm beating them or I'm better, I'm like, I know I can do it. It's like if Kobe or Stephen Curry or LeBron just said they were good, but they didn't do any of the work, you'd be like, you're insane. You're literally living in a fantasy because that's not reality. How does the work not reflect what you've done, but you talk and you expect the talk to reflect real life work, but you don't do the work? That's insane. So yeah, my bad.
No. That's First of all,
First of all, you're allowed to interrupt anybody on the show. Interruptions are allowed.
I like to keep the vibes going. I'm like, I don't hear what you have
second
to
of
say,
all, your awareness in a social interaction
Yeah.
is impeccable because 1/3 of the way through my exhale, you were able to clock in. Oh, he's about to say something.
He's not even wearing headphones.
You're just like, that is
I peeped in, bro.
nuts,
Yeah, I
man. You
checked in.
picked up on it. With that's very similar. I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about how nowadays a lot of creators kind of give themselves these preemptive dopamine rushes by taking these by recording these stories and these posts saying making this fire song and doing the damn thing. But a lot of the times these creators never make the fire song and never do the damn thing. They're trying to get the dopamine rush preemptively by posting that they had just started the process. But with that, they're training themselves to get addicted to just the idea.
But not the execution.
Yes, thank you for finishing.
I got you, bro.
For picking up what I'm putting down.
I saw it, man. I was like, it's a heavy load. I got you, Playboy.
You got it. You picked it up, dude. But it's exactly that.
Yeah.
Which is why, yes, you can do it. If you're actually going to execute, then it's okay to fucking tease the audience or tease people who are following your journey that, yes, you got something happening, but make sure that is going to happen. Because there's so many times that we've ran into other creators and
I've done it.
What?
I've done it. When I first wrote that script, we posted pictures all about it and was super excited about it. And
it's a very exciting thing, but then we get addicted to the dopamine rush of hey, here's this thing that we're working on.
I guess the difference is we kind of, at least I kind of put it down because I reached a level of I didn't know anymore how to produce it any further. But also now that I know a little bit more, I want to go back and redo it.
Journey's not done yet. Let's make sure we do it.
I got a little bit of that understanding. You were putting that example out, and I can, it's kind of like when you see that someone holds a mirror up against you, and it's like, oh fuck, you gotta be able to look at yourself and see these moments and be like, that's when I did because I mean, I could have had them be like,
that's where growth is because that's how you learn to not do the same mistake again,
or even understanding in yourself and knowing, look, hey man, I put down the violin and I was actually kind of getting good at it and I should you gotta work on it
and just to piggyback on that, I think that's the difference between experts at the craft, successful people, and people who just do it and like the idea of doing it but don't actually succeed. Some people like the idea of saying, well, I tried. I don't like to just have the idea of saying I tried. I want to say I did it and I did it.
Yes.
I mean, and you see it, I don't know if you see it. I see it a lot of mutuals and friends and people who are vague actors. The audition sometimes, especially on Instagram, is the role. Is the get.
It's the big thing. They're like, I got this. I'm like, but did you get it? Okay.
Yeah, but it's I mean, I've been to auditions,
right?
And
you know what
I mean. I mean, I auditioned for a movie that I didn't get in, and we went to go watch the premiere of the movie because Austin was in it, and it was one of those, and you have to just accept it. I mean, you just have to know. I'm not even in the industry, and I had to like have the
But I'm
motive.
still happy
like,
that you did the damn audition, man. Sometimes the audition, honestly, let's not play down auditions.
Yeah.
Fucking doing the audition, doing the self tape,
it's
going
the
to
first
the audition.
step.
It's the work.
It's the work.
It's the work.
It's the work. You don't get congratulated for laying a foundation. You don't get congratulated for putting up the frame of a house. It's the full house that's built that you get the congratulations on. Nobody's diminishing the work you did on the foundation and in the walls and all, it's just, but you got to do that. You don't get the opportunities unless you work for them. Right.
I've seen
and
it with-
Sharmaarke is the example. You're the example.
Yes.
Austin's an example.
You're the example.
I'm
You're
getting to be an example.
You're still
I'm
the
working really
example.
hard to be a great example.
And that's still the example in and of itself because you couldn't have not done it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you are now.
True.
Can we give a round of applause for my fans? Round of applause for my
For
fans.
everybody in the room.
Round of applause, man.
And here's he just doing the damn thing. I mean, it's on that note, I do want to end with I have caught myself falling in love with the idea of doing a lot of things,
Right.
but I'm much more madly in love with doing the fucking thing, i.e. this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the proof in the pudding.
It's so much more for creators out there. If you're listening, it's way more satisfying posting your end product shitty or beautiful rather than posting your mid product and never putting it out just because you love the idea of.
I think you have to post those shitty things to get the good stuff.
Yeah,
You have to.
just follow through.
Everyone has a first video. No one's first video is good.
No one's first podcast is good.
No one's first movie is good. No one's first. You just got to do the thing, and you just got to do it, and then do it again.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid to, if you failed the first time, to come back and say, that was a learning lesson as opposed to, oh, that scared me. I don't want to try it again. And that's the beauty in a lot of these people.
We've all failed.
Literally everyone has failed, bro.
Yeah, man.
When we first learned how to walk, we failed.
Yeah, Michael Jordan tried to play baseball.
Oh man,
Try to
that's
golf.
crazy. You brought that up.
He's actually really good.
That's
He's
crazy.
really way better golfer than a baseball player.
Touche.
You can tell someone's really good if they fucked up a lot.
Yeah, because that means you cared. You tried.
Yeah,
And
no
you
one's ever
keep
just
trying.
really fucking good at something, right
Right.
off the bat. Right off the bat. Sometimes it happens, but
They're autistic. Have you ever seen autistic person like really get the piano? They like just can hear
yeah, 'cause
songs.
it's
and
almost
okay, I was
like-
trying to understand that before
Right, I was
reacting
like,
too
where's it
quickly.
going? Oh, touche.
Yes, yes,
Those are the only people I think are like can just click. Other
Yeah.
people work really hard.
yeah.
Or they're lying. Harry Houdini used to tell people all the time that he was double jointed. That's how he would get out of handcuffs and straitjackets and shit. And that's not true at all. He would just practice hours in a straitjacket. He just fucking lied to us.
It's nuts.
Kind of like those comedians that we were talking about earlier
Yeah.
who say, I write hours and hours and hours. I'm at the point now where because I know how magic works and I've read magicians' books and stuff like that, I almost think because so many comedians are saying how often they put so many hours of work and days, and I'm not saying that they don't, but I don't think that that's why they're successful.
Yeah.
They're saying that that's why they're successful because that's what sells and that's what the layman can read and think like, oh, I can work really hard and be just like Bert Kreischer. But no, Bert Kreischer's fucking funny because he's Bert Kreischer. He has that
It
thing.
factor. Yeah.
And
a fact.
he fucking worked hard on it.
Yeah.
a mixture of
It's a
two.
plethora of things.
Yeah. Van Wilder was based on Bert Kreischer. Nobody knew who the fuck Bert Kreischer was when we watched Van Wilder.
Nope.
It's just like it's just one of the work begets the reward.
Yeah.
There's this interesting saying I used to hear that I used to always like, and it says, "Those who fail to plan to fail." And I always hold that so true.
Yeah.
Because if you just go without a plan of action, if you don't do the work, if you're not prepping yourself and you're just thinking you can just figure it out on the whim,
Prep is everything.
prep is everything, dude.
What sucks is that we're so reliant on our improv skills that kind of fucks us up because we're just
but that
we're taught that.
but that improv is work
It is also
because you could, sir.
there is some prep.
I am
Improv
looking
is
at that
hard.
Yeah,
Improv is. I took an improv. That is hard to be off the dome like that. Clever, responding, listening to your partner, and going off of them. That is hard work, dog.
it's tiring.
It is
also,
tiring because you have to constantly be on. You have to be here, listening, keeping up with what they're saying, not overstepping each other. It's a dance.
keeping up and then thinking of what your next step
What you're
is.
gonna say that compliments that doesn't.
And
that
not
doesn't,
what if I take that left step, right? What if and then there's a bomb, right?
Well, what
It's like
do
the-
I have in my back pocket for you? Because you know how these shows end. We're gonna fucking do improv,
We're gonna
dude.
make out.
Oh,
Oh,
my God. Hopefully-
What's your obsession?
Yo.
Your oral obsession.
Yo, Joe. Okay. Well, hopefully,
I smoke cigarettes. You know I have an oral fixation. You know
I
that.
guess so. Yeah.
hopefully this one class pays off. Let's
Well,
go.
so yeah, you're taking an improv class.
yeah, I took an improv class. It was
Fuck
called.
yeah.
You did improv with us before, though.
Yeah,
Did I?
but I wouldn't say that that's a class. That's a session. That's
That
a
was-
moment in time.
Is this his third or second episode?
Third, dude.
Is it?
First episode, we talked about me. We talked a lot about towels because I was cleaning up my post-sex
Towels.
stuff with
Okay,
towels.
I remember that one.
Second one, you did the whole box visualization with
Oh,
him.
with the horse.
Yes, I think.
Yes, yeah, ended with a
Was that
horse.
the second one?
Yeah, that was the second one.
I thought that was
swore that was
one.
the-
And this
I
is the
swore it was the
third one.
one too.
No, this
Okay,
is our third
I'll
one.
trust you, but I'm feeling a solid 2.
You know what? Welcome to my world. I stopped questioning Christian.
I trust both of you guys, but I edit this shit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly
I can't
it.
even argue that. That's
It
right.
feels like it's our
And
second
he
one.
just nods and smiles like, whatever you say, little
You
guy.
guys experience this podcast when it happens, and maybe once again when you watch it.
Yeah.
I experienced this for a few more hours.
We're artistic people, Christian. Once it's
Right?
out, it's out.
I'm just feeling it, bro. I'm just
yeah.
living in the
This is the
ethos.
podcast.
You have to like capture all of the smoke and build it back into a house.
I'm slowly editing. I edit. If you just see me looking, I'm just editing in my.
Hey, buddy, I know when you cut out what I'm saying. I can see pretty clear.
What?
I know sometimes I'm talking, you're just like, that's out.
Just like.
And we're taking that out. There we go.
Oh, wait, what happened? Why are you covered in blood, Alex?
All right, let's do a fucking improv scene.
Jesus Christ.
And do you say that because what are your like main reactions when I bring up improv? Like, is it
You
nerves?
don't have to be
Is it-
Ryan Stiles. You, can,
Right,
you don't
fear.
have to be Wayne Brady either.
You have to be-
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going to be, bro.
But you have to be Drew Carey.
No. All right.
go.
Once again, improv scenes happen based off of whatever the hell we talked about on this podcast, or off of anything at all. It doesn't have to be about anything. Yeah. So, you want to say the words?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Highly relevant.
All right. Welcome to the meeting of producers. Gentlemen,
Yep.
writers are on strike.
That sucks.
We have over $15 million in multiple television shows across all platforms.
Yep.
Guys, we have to find the finishing for the show. How will Lucy get to Candyland?
Well, Tony, quick question. I think AI is the new answer.
AI.
Agreed.
Okay.
We know we can't use it though, but it's part of the thing of the strike. We use it, they don't like it. Now they can. So here's what we have to do.
Okay.
It is literally us three. It's us three. It's that 1903 typewriter right there in the middle of the room.
typewriter.
It's 500 pages of blank paper, and it is this blank whiteboard. Okay? Baltazar, you're the intern. You have all the ideas. You're fresh out of high school. How do we make kids like us?
As much diversity as possible.
Also, this is 60 minutes.
Also, this is 60 minutes interview. Okay, yeah. I mean, I just think as much diversity as possible, and I think that
Oh,
new
Sharmaarke, I know you're
ideas.
not smoking. Please, this is a
Apologies.
smoking only room.
Sorry about that.
Yes,
I
thank you.
was-
Because we're producers. I assume we all smoke.
We all smoke. It's a stressful job producing
Absolutely.
stuff.
Peer pressure is terrifying.
Shamarka, what do you think?
You know what? I was looking at those stacks of pieces of paper, and I'm thinking maybe, crazy idea, we can all maybe just find one of these guys, these writers, bring them in, put a little bit of money on the table,
Yes,
get them to go
yes.
against the people, and have
Yes.
them right behind,
Yes.
and we can pay them
Yes.
the money
Under the table.
under the table,
Under the table.
and they can be our snitch, you know?
Our little guy. Okay.
But what happens when this strike is over? And they're mad that we hired
A writer.
a fake writer because the real ones are outside.
What they know. They believe what we tell them.
I imagine they'd walk into the office and see him sitting at their desk. We haven't taken anyone's name tags off the desks.
All right, let's bring in the first one then.
All right, Seymour, have a seat.
So what do you bring to the table, Seymour? What are some of your skill sets?
Hi, my name's Seymour Williamson. I've written horror. A lot of horror
What'd you
flicks.
call me?
Horror flicks.
Oh, flicks.
Horror flicks.
Oh, woof.
I've written a lot of mockumentaries.
I'm going to stop you right here. You're great. Awesome. We're going to put you in charge of Discovery Channel.
Okay.
All right, I'll take Discovery Channel. Should we take in the next writer?
Yeah,
that's right.
We're not limited. We got money. We're producers,
we can
right?
do it. Yeah,
Let's
Seymour
bring
didn't
the
really
next
sell
one.
me too much on any
Seymour
big
is fine,
ideas.
Seymour is
The
fine.
paper. His name is Daniel Lewis.
All right, Daniel Lewis.
Hi, Daniel. Have a seat.
Hi.
Daniel, Lost, season 7, final episode. How do we end it?
I'm thinking maybe they can find the airplane.
Oh, why have we never thought about that?
It's genius, right?
Why have we never thought about it?
Daniel,
I'm here for the big bucks.
Daniel
you're in
Lewis?
charge of ABC News.
All right, there you go.
Next.
Next up, we have.
What I miss? Was this Daniel guy pretty good?
No, Sharmaarke, he was great.
was fine,
You'll
yeah.
see him on ABC News though. Don't
You'll
worry.
definitely see,
Who
yeah,
is next?
Antonio Gunthershroom. Weird
Gunther
name.
Shroom.
Gunther Shroom.
Weird name.
I'm gonna say not a name for television, but let's see.
Let's see what's going on. Antonio Gunther Shroom, what do you got for us today? We got the 10th season of Walking Dead coming up.
Oh, yo soy un janitor. No hablo inglés.
You're right. We should add more Latinos into the Walking Dead. There's not enough.
Oh,
Very inclusive. I like that. But the way he's holding that mop, it looks like he's had a way with cameras because his hands, you can tell they're callous from holding a camera. What
Yes.
is your work behind cameras? Senor?
Yes.
oh, it was just I just pick up the trash.
You're so real. You're so real.
He's grounded.
grounded.
He's so grounded.
Yeah.
You have an amazing radio voice.
No habla inglés.
We should put him on the Spanish channel.
Yeah, we should put him on.
Telenovela.
Yeah, that or Menudo.
Menudo. Bienvenidos.
Bienvenido.
That's the
Hey
new
guys, did
channel.
we find that 5th member of the band from the 90s that nobody cares about? Menudo?
Yeah, actually, Antonio.
Oh, perfect. Antonio, why don't you get in that band
Go
then?
ahead. Do a bunch of things. All
Guys,
right.
I think we have
What a great guy.
a guy. He's been in movies. His name is Bradley Cooper. But
I don't think he's gonna hit.
hang on.
What?
He says he wants us to watch him as if he's never been an actor before. So
Oh, one of these guys.
What does that mean?
One of these artsy guys. We'll see.
Yeah, what does that mean?
so okay, why don't we bring him? Come on, have a seat, Bradley. Have a seat.
Hey,
I don't like this guy's posturing. What's going on here, man?
Yeah, he's not doing a slate
Yeah,
at
you're not
all
doing
or
anything.
anything.
You're not even-
I was
Bradley,
totally
it's just-
grounded. I was totally just be myself. Fine, I'll say it. 6'2", 34, 32.
What's the 32?
I think that's the size. I think that's the girth of his penis.
God, this guy came in with an attitude. I like it.
I've been in all 3 hangovers. I was in A Star Is Born. I'm also Rocket Raccoon.
Barbara Streisand?
No, I know of Barbara Streisand, you fucking
With
muggle.
Aubrey Hepburn.
Yes.
Do you hear the authority in this
I don't
guy's
know.
voice?
What
Sorry,
Star
I'm
Is
sorry.
Born
Have
were
a-
Who do
you?
you
have a-
guys think
have
you
a cigarette.
are?
Have a
I
cigar.
have more. Thank you so much. But oh my God, Marlboros? What are you guys, peasants? I'll,
why are we
I'll
smoking
have
fucking-
something else. You guys got a fucking.
Sharmaarke's father invented Marlboros.
That's you know what?
I didn't even like the guy.
Yeah, just like I'll have a. Do you have red apples?
We
The
do.
ones specific from Quentin Tarantino movies.
Oh.
I think we
Sharmaarke, Christian, why don't we step into the hallway and discuss this actor?
Gotcha. I like what he's doing.
I love what he's doing. I don't want to gush in front of him. But did you see his credits? Christian?
He was amazing.
Christian, are you drooling? Why are you not? Why were
I'm
you just
salivating at the. It's
You were just
Bradley
staring at him,
Cooper.
eyes just glazed,
Bradley
mouth wide open.
Cooper, Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do, guys.
What?
Christian,
Yeah.
you're gonna go in and tell Bradley Cooper he's got the role of Superman.
Guys, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Cut to the outside of where Bradley Cooper is. Bradley Cooper. Yeah, how's it going? You. A huge fan, by the way. I can barely. Yeah, I get that all the time. You are absolutely. Yeah. You come on, kid. You know, I've just been in. I've been in everything. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry that I just Yeah, no, I got the fucking roll or something. Come on, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta fuck some beesies.
Hey, Christian, Bradley Cooper's waiting for you inside. What are you doing talking to yourself out here?
Woo! I'm just pretending how I'm gonna talk to Bradley Cooper.
I was really transfixed with how in the role you were with getting hyped up for this
really
kid.
worried about Christian, you were doing 2 voices out here and everything, and he's over here. I mean, we told him you'd be in here in 5 minutes.
He's been pacing back and forth. He
You've
thinks
been out
it's
here
a
for
setup.
15 minutes talking to yourself, Christian.
You good? You ready to do this?
I'm good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this.
Okay.
That was weird.
Hey. No, I'm Bradley Cooper.
Whatever. End scene. All
That was great.
right. Nice.
I really
perfect.
wanted to make you do 2 characters.
I know you did. I know exactly where
you
you're
were
going with
playing him. I
that.
was like, oh, he's taking him down a dark
Nuts.
path.
All right. Well, I mean, that's improv, guys. I mean, thank you again for doing another improv scene with us.
Hey, dude.
It's
a roller coaster.
It's
Has he
around
done 3 now?
These are 3. We've done improv scenes. He's never said no to doing an improv scene.
Yeah, the whole thing about
He's an
being
actor.
apprehensive about the improv was I don't remember that in the past.
Oh, absolutely, bro. It's just maybe I just hit it better, but it's because you guys are really good at it. And it comes.
Stop it.
No, you are. You
Stop
guys
it.
are.
Thank you.
You guys are. I think you know that, so that's where there's a comfort in there, where you guys can just fly into it, like, all right, yeah, let's do it.
We're used
And
to
you know
failing
you
at
are.
it.
You
We're
know
just
you
used to
are.
failing at it. Is what that there's a comfort
There's a
in knowing
comfort.
that it's not always going to be okay,
Like,
and that's fine.
ties back to the work. You did the work. So now when it comes to playing at the field, you're like, I play this all the time. This is muscle memory.
Wow, you're really flipping our insecurities into securities.
Hey, man, I'm here to support.
Kind of nuts. It's really working.
I'm gonna go buy a business.
Yeah,
Give me an LLC right now.
I'm putting my entire savings account into Dogecoin now.
Right? Doge.
You're like literally 3 years too late.
No, I mean 3 years too late, 3 years too soon.
It's all about
I
perspective.
don't think that's how it works with money, please.
Yo,
No. I know I'm not the best with money in this room here, but
you
guys,
know
come
that's how it
on.
works.
It's done. I put all of my savings into Dogecoin.
And now you're a millionaire. Now you're broke.
Yeah, now I'm super broke.
life.
Get out. All right, Sharmaarke, anything you want to leave for the listeners, like anything that you want to get off your chest that you don't think that you were able to say during this podcast before we sign off?
And can you make it rhyme?
Let me do it. Give me a beat.
Oh, you're actually gonna rhyme?
I'm gonna
Yes!
try. I'm gonna try. Let's go.
Wait. Okay, yep.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Let me come in with a quick rhyme.
Yeah.
I was having a fucking great time.
Yeah.
We were chilling. Homie was willing. We were doing improv through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Now we're here about to wrap it all up.
Yeah.
I like this shit and we're about to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Now I'm chilling, Big Chris and Ariando.
Yeah.
We about to get up out here. That's the fun though.
Yeah.
And that's the end though.
No. I wanna. Let me tag on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a word.
Yeah. Rapping.
I'm rapping. I'm clapping. I'm snapping. Yeah. All those booty cheeks. Yeah, they be clapping. You know what I got?
Yeah.
I got hella beasties that are just really hot.
Hey.
Booty cheeks, some booty cheeks. I got it like booty cheeks. They make me weak at the knees.
Yeah.
I like to slap the masses.
Hey. Hey.
You know I go to
Hey.
the masses.
To the masses.
Yeah, and I preach out to the masses.
To the masses.
Yeah, looking like Kyle Massey.
Massey.
Yeah, I'm very classy.
Classy.
Why don't you come over and
Ask
tell me
me.
about the things that I gotta fucking do when you know I go to the toilet and I gotta go poo.
Hey.
I'm just gonna stop right there since the beat ended.
You're better at acapella. Honestly, you know you did better at acapella than with the beat.
You
Nah,
were kinda
I'll do whatever. But
fine. You were kinda fine with the acapella.
No,
do you
I
want
just
to do
in
a
that moment
serious
right there.
freestyle before
I
we
didn't
end?
know if it was a freestyle that was specific to the thing or if I could actually rap.
Rap.
Fat facts. Okay, give me a beat now. Give me
Yeah,
legit.
or do you want me to play something off my fucking?
Yeah, why don't you play something? Because I'm a little bit out of breath and I'm really not good at
It's
that.
the end of the episode. If people stick around for this part,
Facts.
then
Fine.
you're getting the fucking
You could have
treat.
just gave me an acapella. You could have just dropped a beat, bro. You don't have to do a beat. You could just
Fine,
give me something
I'll spit a beat. I'll spit a beat.
Let's try it. Okay. Oof. I'm gonna dust this off. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, spitting those coins. I need the cash though. I need all that. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Let me spit these lyrics off their head. Murdering all these rappers, I'm making them all dead. I need the money, need the cash, need the bread. F the cops, F the government, F the feds. I'm coming in because my mouthpiece is impeccable. I'm eating all these fucking rappers like some vegetables. This shit's delectable. I'm so impeccable. Telling me something different, homie, you an extra, bro. I'm the king, this my movie scene. All these haters rapping, but I'm never really too afraid. Play the word game, homie, I am nerd say. I will take a beat and kill these rappers, that is word slain. Wordplay is too clean. Coming on your chick and excuse me, she might cream. That is so delicious, what I said, what I mean. That was kinda grimy, low-key, obscene. But I am here. I'm present. I'm active. I said it. I'm the God. I'm the man. Yeah, I meant it. I'm a AG. I'm a Mac. I'm a mentor. Yeah, low-key demented. No dementor. Harry Potter with the wizard. I'm an actor. I'm a scepter. I'm a wizard. I'm the king. I'm the Lord. I'm the G. I'm the best. I'm the boss. I'm the kid. I'm the he. I'm Sharmaarke. Yeah.
Shit, dude. way to end the fucking
I was feeling that
podcast.
shit.
I'm
That
not
was
even
fun.
gonna go after that because I can't do any better than that. So.
Well, stand back. No, I'm just kidding.
was
no,
like,
no,
just
no,
right
no,
around.
no.
That was fun. That was legit. I've been freestyling like years, dog.
Really?
Legitimately. Because you know, I mean, music, I don't rap anymore. So I'm just like, what the fuck am I freestyling for?
dude,
so that was
fun.
fun. When he was just like,
Hell yeah.
freestyle. I was like,
Of course. I was kind of asking. I was wondering.
Of course.
wondering if you'd be down.
Leviosa. Yeah.
Of course you would. All right, baddies. That was Sharmaarke. Sharmaarke. As we
Those
end
are the
everything,
baddies. Yeah, those are the
plug what's going on. What can people watch you in? Where can people follow you on Instagram, social media, and
this
what
out.
can they look forward to?
I'm just going to say, this is the greatest plug of all time. When life gets hard, it can't be that bad.
Hey,
Leave it at that. Leave it at that.
boy.
Leave it at that, man. Leave it at that.
All right, follow Sharmaarke on all social platforms at The Real Sharmaarke.
The real Sharmaarke.
Yeah, it'll be everything is in the link for you to follow him and just keep your eye out for some upcoming projects,
Upcoming
right?
stuff, man.
Follow Christian at
Christian has asthma. Follow Alejandro at
Fake Sharmaarke.
The Fake Sharmaarke.
That's fire, bro. That is so fire. I low-key want to change my name to be like the real Alejandro, bro. That'd be fire, bro.
You actually need to keep it at Sharmaarke.
Okay, big
I
facts.
can legitimately change mine to the Fake Sharmaarke.
When I get famous, I'm gonna remember this and come back and just have a podcast and be like, I'm Alejandro today. This is who I am.
People are like, Sharmaarke lost 1 million followers in a single minute.
Like, this Alejandro guy just got so
don't
many
wanna follow
followers.
him.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
No,
dude.
I'm at call_me Jesus if you
Yes.
care.
And follow the podcast at
ICBTB
ICBTB
podcast. Visit our website at icbtb.com or itcan'tbethatbad.com.
Both work. Send us an email if you still send emails for whatever podcast
Yeah.
reasons at icbtbpodcast@yahoo.com.
Send us a Morse code. I've been reading about Morse code recently.
Carrier pigeons work
Send
as
us letters via carrier pigeon.
Yeah, we have P.O. Box at thefakeshamarky.com.
But yeah, dude.
This has been fun and
This is
silly
legit
and
fun.
goofy.
Thank you for coming on. We talked about anything and everything. And whenever you're back up here in the Bay,
Hey,
you're always welcome in the studio, bro.
I always check in with you guys, so I always want to come as many times as I can.
Deeply
that sounded
appreciate it.
wild.
Better believe it.
That sounded wild.
It did sound wild.
I looked at him because I know he was going to take it. I was like, oh my God, what did I say?
All right, y'all. Take it easy. Peace and bye.
Can't be that bad, oh, it 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 can't be that bad.